Are you listening? Damn.
Welcome to another edition of the AFC North Talk. Yes, I am Cole. I am here in freezing England where the sun don't come out. Yes. Look at this early for Noah Stone. This is for y'all.
Love it. He's got to
Jalen
get it.
compares who? Brady's dominating without trying eight Super Bowl.
Nova Stone, our resident Tom Brady fan. For those of you who don't know who Nova Stone is, happy to have you back, Nova Stone. Not even close. You know, we thought Jalen Hurts was of the caliber of quarterback that could potentially take out a Tom Brady.
Apparently, he's the real deal.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts gonna be real good. He's gonna be around for a while.
Because if he wasn't good, he would have won that game. But if he is good, you know, he's
at least be competitive.
I don't know if you guys watched any of that game. I know this is a tangent, but they kept saying before the game that Nick Sirianni was, you know, telling his team about Rocky, you know, the Rocky story and all that before the game and whatnot. Rocky loses. I mean, people forget this about the Rocky thing. Rocky loses. Okay. Why? I mean, Rocky is not the underdog story where he comes out and he beats Tom Brady. You know, the story of Rocky is, they was kind of close, but he ends up losing.
Philly. He's from Philly.
Rocky only wins when he's supposed to be like an asshole too. Like that's the one thing about that entire series. It's like when he starts winning, is like when everybody's like, "Well, Rocky, you've changed. You've let the money change you, man." And he's like, "Hey, I gotta go back to the house and become a new man and lose all my fortune."
By the way, I should say
that's what happens in Rocky 5, right?
Spoilers for the entire Rocky series right now, but yeah.
Which was that terrible Rocky movie where basically the end of it is that Sylvester Stallone beats up a child? Which one was that?
That was Rocky 5.
Okay, right? Rocky 6 is the one where he's like super
Rocky Balboa.
Old, right?
Is it? Wait, no.
Rocky Balboa is the one where I think it's 4. I think Rocky Balboa is technically Rocky 5.
I watched a couple Rockies and I was like, eh.
No, I've watched them all. I've watched
1, 2, and 3 are the good ones. I mean, 3 is 1, 2, and 3. But
the good ones, and then 4. I think that went direct to video. I can't imagine anybody watch that in theaters because that was bad. Like it was really. The climax is literally he trains his kid to beat up another kid.
Yeah,
that's pretty much the whole movie.
Damn. Okay. Okay.
Spoiler warning.
Yeah. Well, at this point, it's been aged.
I think we.
What's that show with the puppets that criticizes movies? Oh, this is just AFC North Talk Mystery
Science Theater 3000. Yeah, you got
this is. Oh, let me say something real quick. We're gonna announce this throughout the show. Tomorrow we're gonna have a live stream on the Patreon page. So if you're not a member, you want to be part of it, please make sure you subscribe. We're gonna be talking some topics. We might take some phone calls, so make sure you go ahead and Patreon and become a member. So we're still gonna be doing the next show the review of the week. It's just more content. So just so you know, Animatry here says OBJ is about to end Baker's career.
I think Baker's about to end Baker's career more than OBJ is. I mean, somebody
more just
on
like
show,
spreading the dirt. You know what I mean? It's more just kind of spreading the dirt.
I mean, it's just making the case louder. There are other things that you can point to that would make the case louder. But yeah, the whole Odell thing, it's not a great look for Baker Mayfield. There's a lot of things about this year that are not great looks for Baker.
Ace is on his way, by the way. Ace
we should take a lot of people
walk in here like the Undertaker. No, I promise you, he's coming in elaborate.
Ace gonna descend from the heavens for.
You might 31 long years. I mean, 31 years. Of waiting around. I mean, listen, he's got to celebrate it. Yeah,
dog. The Miles didn't even wait 31 years. That's a decade plus one. That is a whole grown ass man. 31 years.
Yeah, that's
a retired running back right there. 31 years.
What? Yeah. Yeah, that is. Yeah, I'd say certainly an aging should be out of the league running back. No doubt about it.
That's a quarterback in his prime and a retired running back.
It's in the Browns. How much was the Browns between wins?
The Browns was 94 to 2020. So I was 25 plus 1, 26 years.
Okay, and then and the Bengals were 31.
Yeah.
And who has the longest streak right now, by the way?
The Steelers.
Pittsburgh.
Look at that.
Five long years. Which is actually, by the way,
it might double. You know what I mean? It could double.
We'll
it depends on if they get a quarterback.
Yeah. Well, we certainly are about to enter into for anyone who any Steeler fan right now who did not watch Mike Tomlin's press conference today. Very intriguing comments. He talked a lot about the future of quarterback and actually kind of gave away, I think, a little bit of the farm there about how they're going to be looking at quarterback. I don't think it's coming via trade. But yeah.
I just think you guys are trading for Goff. He is a smoke screen. Goff is coming to Pittsburgh.
Goff is coming to Pittsburgh.
Who's going to trade for Goff a second time?
I mean,
it's a miracle they traded on the first time.
Well, it's part of getting another first-round pick for them.
Yeah, I mean, I think the worst thing the Steelers could do this offseason, and I think the thing that a lot of people are kind of coming to terms with, this needs to start entering people's minds, like this really could happen. They're just going to go with Mason. I mean, I think
Rudolph.
At this point, we talk about bringing in Jared Goff.
Yeah, I mean, like, they're definitely not trading for Jared Goff. I mean, you kind of.
So Haskin, Mason.
I would go with that battle over just see what happens with that rather than, huh?
Well, I think a veteran off the street, I mean, whether it's Mitch or Mitch, I think kind of comes in as a presumed starter, and certainly you give Mason the chance. But someone maybe like a Tyrod Taylor, Marcus Mariota. Someone like that, they compete with Mason a little bit.
Man, Tyrod might just by the end of his career go through all AFC North teams.
Yeah, you go back to like Ryan Fitzpatrick. You do one of those things.
Fitzmagic. No, Heineke.
Is Heineke leaving Washington at this point?
Is he a free agent?
But Fitzpatrick's a free agent.
Fitzpatrick is a free agent for sure. Yeah. I looked over. There was an episode of Locked On Steelers I did like maybe a month or two ago where we talked about all the possible free agents. There aren't a lot of good ones other than Trubisky.
Rocky Ford's a classic. Rocky Avengers Apollo.
Is Rocky Ford the guy where he goes to Russia?
Oh, Ford is the one where he goes. I thought that was 3.
Oh wait, I'll Google it.
No, 3 on Mr. T.
James Brown. Which Rocky was that on? Okay, that's how we'll figure this out.
Wait, which is the one then? Chat, help us out here. Which is the one where he trains the kid and then the kid becomes an asshole by the end?
Okay, that's Rocky 5. That's got to be Rocky 5 then.
That has to be. That was a really bad movie. That was a very, very bad movie.
So let's just break this down just so we can settle this. Okay, Rocky 1 is the original Creed one where he loses. Beat up by
he loses, but he takes him to the.
Adrian, we made
it. Major Rocky spoilers.
They built a statue in Philadelphia. They have spoiled the ending already. All right. Rocky 2 is like, doesn't he fight Creed at the beginning of it? And then he
fights Creed again and then he wins this time.
They're saying Rocky 5 in the chat.
But that's not Clubber Lang?
No, Clubber Lang is 3.
Clubber Lang's 3. Okay, 4 is Ivan Drago. If he dies, he dies. 5 is the one nobody talks about. And then Rocky Balboa is where he fights. Oh, the actual boxer. What was his name? He was good for like a year and then he sucked.
No. 4 is Tommy Morrison, who was an actual boxer, right?
Yeah.
Or 5. 5 is Tommy Morrison.
Rocky Balboa 6.
6. Yeah, I don't know.
It was an actual boxer. I remember because my dad used to make me watch boxing.
Tommy Morrison is what people are saying.
Tommy Morrison is 5 though. That's not Rocky Balboa. No. There's another one. Yeah, I know.
It was hold on, I'm about to find
Antonio Tarver. They're saying.
Tarver. Yeah, he was good for like 2 years and he was trash. I remember.
Yeah,
fun stuff. All right, there's your Rocky.
There you go. Hey, welcome to Rocky Talk, and appreciate everybody.
Tangents like this are expected.
Tommy Guns. It was also somebody named Tommy Guns and then Rocky the bad one.
Hey, listen, Tommy Gunn. Did Tommy Gunn win a playoff game in Pittsburgh? No, did he?
Are you talking about Tommy Maddox?
Tommy Maddox.
Yeah, he beat the Browns, right?
Those the Browns. Yeah, of course. I just remember.
I remember Hines Ward dancing on the sideline. The Browns is the Browns. I'll never forget that clip.
Q, he remember. He just wanted you to.
No, actually, I
think he didn't remember that. But I remember. Oh yeah, Patrick Farm remembers. I remember Hines Ward looked at the camera on HBO and said, "Oh, maybe they the same damn Browns" when we choked up that game. I remember that one. I remember that one vividly. I hate Hines Ward because of that singular moment and many other things that he's done to my life.
Okay.
Did I ever mention I hate the Pittsburgh Steelers on this show?
You mentioned it a couple times. Yeah, a couple times on this show. You've mentioned it. Yeah.
Diddy, shout out to you. Thank you for the donation.
This is a true story.
Defensive tackle on cloth in front of.
What makes it worse is it's Malik McDowell and he fought a security guard again.
Ooh.
Wait, what? Wait, what happened?
Well, Malik McDowell, he's famous because he got he was a second round pick, but he fought a police officer on camera one time. That's why he's been out the league for a couple of years. And this year, he had a good year, solid year. The second he goes back to Florida, it's something about Florida. I don't know what it is. He goes back to Florida and he gets caught.
Turns into a Florida man.
Yeah, with his meat out fighting guards, which means I know he had some synthetic issues, if you know what that is. When he got caught the first time, it looks like he's probably back on that thing.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay. Truth teller here. Big Ben sold against the KC Cheeks. I thought he was gonna clap MQ.
I lost money on that, man.
Yeah.
And Q, I couldn't. So backstory here. For those of you who didn't watch the preview show, Quincy predicted a booty beatdown in no uncertain terms there by the Steelers to the Chiefs, which I thought, and I think we all thought, was this reverse jinx.
Yeah.
Okay. But then we get a message from Q. Was it Saturday or Sunday?
We get a hypothetical message.
Yeah, hypothetical message. Yeah, a hypothetical message. It's from Q that said, "Hey, listen. Let's say I wanted to put a couple down on this one. Where would I go about doing that?" I'm like,
Tony obviously has like 1,000 websites.
Yeah, no, I mean, I sent him back like 5 paragraphs on exactly how to do it, but and not that I know.
Not that you do it, right? Not that you.
Yeah, not that. No. I actually did not.
We're talking about characters in the AFC North talk.
Yeah, no. This is not a real. Yeah, of course, it's a fictional story. Yeah,
it's all academic.
Yeah, of course. Now, I actually did not put anything on this game though because I just couldn't. I couldn't risk any sort of bad mojo getting involved in this one. Not that mattered at the end of the day, but I did my due diligence.
I had just decided, man, if I was going to be miserable, I was going to make a couple $100 off of it. You know what I mean?
That's fair.
Yeah. Sometimes I like to do that where I actually put money on the other team. So it's a no lose, right? It's like either I'm going to win money or my team's going to win. So I can't lose in this case.
Yeah.
Okay. What I mean? Let's talk about the Steelers. I know Tony's trying to avoid it. And by the way, for those of you, Ace is coming. He said he's going to be a little late. Also, tomorrow we're going to stream live in the AFC North Patreon channel. So go ahead if you want and become a member. But Tony, you were there live.
I was.
This reverse booty beatdown jinx.
It was, yeah. I mean, like I don't have any problem talking about this game because as we talked about on the preview show, right? I mean, this was everyone always booty beatdowns because the Steelers are going to get the crap kicked out of them, and they did, and they certainly did. My Steelers did not look great, especially from about midway through the second quarter on. But I don't know you guys' thoughts on the game. We haven't talked about that game yet. All I've heard so far is kind of the talk of Steeler fans, and Steeler fans pretty much always have the same reaction after a game like this in the playoffs, which is to criticize Tomlin. I actually thought the Steelers, just from a game plan perspective, just from from watching how that game started and how the Steelers were going to approach it, I thought they came out with the perfect approach. Well, maybe not the perfect approach. There was one decision right off. Let's just start there, actually, because it was how the game started. I thought it was a really, really dumb decision by the Steelers. They won the coin toss. Well, first of all, Ben Roethlisberger does the right thing in this game. He calls tails, which he didn't do in that Ravens overtime. Everyone knows tails never fails. It's just science. Look it up. So they win the coin toss.
Not science.
Tails never fail. Look, again.
Heads is 51% to 49. It's more
tails
probable.
Never fails.
This is why you have a gambling addiction.
Yeah, this is the problem. There's the problem.
So they call tails, and they win the coin toss. Steelers win the coin toss, and they elect to receive. The Steelers elected to receive in this football game, which in the moment, obviously everyone's hyped up because the game's about to start. I'm in the crowd, and it's like, my first immediate thought is like, yeah, let's do it. Let's get the ball. Let's go right down there and score. That thought lasted for about 5 seconds before I realized, like, wait, time out. This offense is terrible. The chances of them going down and scoring are like less than 1%. What's actually going to happen is they're probably going to go 3 and out. And then because of that, the Chiefs are likely going to have the ball here at the end of the first half, and they're going to get the ball at the start of the second half, and they're probably going to score 14 points out of that. And that's really not good. Tomlin, what are you thinking? The Steelers offense, by the way, just to put numbers behind this, the Steelers offense haven't scored a first quarter touchdown in 2 months. 2 months since the last time this team scored a first quarter touchdown. So yeah, I thought that in particular, I mean, I understand what Tom was trying to do, gas the team up, get them to, to believe like, hey, we're coming out here. We're going to drive the ball right down there. We're going to use clock. We're going to score. We're going to take an early lead in this football game. And I get where he was coming from that. But man, that was a silly decision. Otherwise, I did think, though, I thought the game plan was right, which was, we're going to have to go high variance, as I talked about. You were going to have to mix things up defensively to confuse Mahomes and try to create turnover. They did that. I thought they did a great job early on in this game of showing too high and then switching to a single high. So that, because everything with Mahomes recently has been, everyone shows him too high, and so he has to check everything down. That's how the Chiefs offense has kind of evolved this year. There's not a lot of big plays anymore. It's more of kind of checking things down and taking things where they can get them. And then, hey, if we ever catch you in single high, we'll hit you on the deep ball. Steelers did a good job of showing too high and then switching into single high so that they could cover things underneath. And that's why it was the first 5 possessions of this game for the Chiefs. They did not score. In fact, they went 3 and out on a bunch of them and 2 turnovers early on. Now that's not to say that the Steelers defense was perfect early on, but there were a lot of moments, especially when Mahomes was rolling out, he was escaping pressure, where there were guys open downfield. He just wasn't seeing it at the beginning parts of this game. Obviously that changed in the second quarter, but I thought, as I talked about last week, Devin Bush needed to be a part of this game. You needed to keep him out there. He was the recipient of the TJ Watt tip interception, which was obviously a huge play because that came in the red zone. The Chiefs had a chance there where they were likely to score a touchdown. And then, I mean, the TJ Watt fumble touchdown was maybe the most surreal moment of my life. Because, so first of all, credit to Arrowhead. It's a great stadium. It does get very, very loud, but there was about 30% of that crowd that was all Steeler fans. And in our section where we were sitting, I mean, it was like 50-50 Steeler fans. I was surrounded by Steeler fans. We were all talking before the game, where are you from? This guy was from New York. This guy's from Omaha. This guy's from Texas. And we were all saying to ourselves, like, this is a win-win, right? Nothing bad's going to happen. Either we're going to watch Ben in his last game or we're going to watch the greatest upset of all time, right? But we're probably just going to end up watching Ben's last game. And so we're all just, kind of going through the motions until TJ strip scoop and score, which that place got, I mean, the Chiefs fans got so quiet and every Steeler fan is we're all looking at each other like, could this really happen?
At that moment, there was a spike on betting for the Steelers in that section. Like, how much can I bet for the Steelers?
I mean, it was that. I mean, I don't even know what I did from that point because I think I blacked out. It was unbelievable.
Okay, Pouncy.
Yeah, exactly. The problem in this game, though, I mean, defensively, I thought they played well to start. The problem was offensively. They also came with a high variance approach. I mean, don't get me wrong. I thought the approach offensively was right, which is you're going to have to take a lot of deep shots in this game. And they started pretty much every third down in this game was an attempt at a deep ball. They just didn't hit any of them, right? I mean, it's kind of the story of the season a little bit, which is that this defense is certainly capable of making plays. This offense is certainly not. Whether it was drops, miscommunications, penalties, missed assignments on the offensive line, but just too many mistakes offensively. This offense was bad. And so, that really was the story. I mean, the story of the game, back it up for a second. The story of this football game is that the Chiefs, especially the playoff Chiefs, are very, very good. And the Steelers, now, as I've said all year, I'm a broken record on this. The Steelers are just a bad football team. I mean, that's just the bottom line. I thought there was some lessons to learn in this game, though. I thought, as far as, am I sad that like this team made the playoffs, so we lose the whole like Ben retirement party that was kind of the win over Cleveland or the win against Baltimore. I think this game is kind of instructive for the future of the Steelers for a couple guys. First of all, TJ and Cam get their playoff moment, which was cool. But I thought Trey Norwood and Alex Highsmith on defense played well, and those were two young guys.
Had a really good game.
Yeah, Highsmith. Yeah, because they were doubling TJ on every play, and that left Highsmith in one-on-one. And this is, you looked at the second half, but really the last quarter of his season, he was really good. I thought, though, the most instructive part of this game was the wide receiver play, which was terrible. Deontay Johnson.
Didn't you like how Claypool played? I thought he elevated. Man.
Always. Well, he definitely elevated. I like you using the word elevate there because when the ball is headed his way, Claypool is certainly going to elevate. I thought even worse. I mean, Claypool did what Claypool does, which is nothing. But Deontay Johnson was, a big issue in this. Back to the dropsies. And again, look, I talked with Cleveland fans about this earlier in the year, and I said, look, Baker Mayfield did a solid for the Browns this year, which is to kind of show them, hey, I'm not worth a big extension. Deontay is coming into an extension type season. He's going to have 1 year left going into next year. This would probably be the year where they would want to pay him. And I think it's very instructive to look at, okay, biggest game of your career, you got to have it. And these big moments, and he continued to come up small. There was that third down play. I think it was in between after they went up 14-7. And the Steelers needed a first down. They needed to keep the drive going there because that was the end of the first half, and they needed to run some more clock so that the Chiefs didn't have enough time to go back down and score what was really the game-breaking field goal. And Deontay dropped a third down on that one. Q, go ahead.
Yeah, so since those drops have come back kind of at the end part of this season, almost with a little bit of a vengeance here.
Yeah.
Does that lower your confidence that this is something that he can solve?
Yeah. I think that this is unfortunately because it's clearly a mental thing, right? The fact that it's happening in these moments. I mean, look at his splits. Look at his splits from the first maybe 10 games of the year and then like the last quarter of the year. He had like 800 yards through the first 10 or 12 games, whatever it is. The last couple games he's had, and he had no drops in that period, by the way, no drops for the first like 12 games of the year. Then these last 6, he's had like 200 yards and 5 or 6 drops in those games.
You think it's because in the beginning of the season, in theory, the Steelers' expectations weren't high. They play in house money. And then as the season stretched, they're like, oh, we can make the playoffs if we make these games. And Deontay Johnson obviously is the feature receiver for that offense.
Yeah.
Because I almost feel, Tony, you can correct me if I'm wrong, because obviously you watch the Steelers a little bit more in detail.
Yeah.
If you throw the ball for Deontay a little bit ahead or a little bit high, that's where it almost becomes a 50-50 with him. Versus, I almost feel like you have to throw it to the chest, which is hard to do sometimes for a quarterback, right? I'm not saying that, if I'm not mistaken, there was a 1/3 down. The ball, it was a little high, right? But it hit both hands. So it should have been a catch. And I was like, oh, man, come on. This is a moment. If you're that receiver, you should make that catch. Was it a perfect thrown ball? No. But is it a catchable ball? Yes.
I think Nick Fairbaugh, who writes for Steelers Now, did some looking at this, like where do his drops most likely to happen? They most likely happen on plays over the middle, like where he's designed to go over the middle of the field is where his drops generally happen.
Looking for the hit.
Yeah, so potentially it's obviously he does not have, he's not exactly the biggest receiver in the game. It's just so frustrating with him though, because boy, this kid, you look at his release. I mean, even the touchdown he had was obviously late in the game. It didn't matter. But his release off the line of scrimmage is so good. His route running is so good. He is able to get himself into open space with regularity, right? He does the most frustrating part about Deontay Johnson is he does the hard parts really easy, and he makes the easy parts really, really hard on himself. And I just don't know that you can ever trust a guy like that, especially now when it comes time to pay him. Right? I mean, they have to pay him now or he's going to go into free agency. And then the other
one of the most frustrating archetypes in football.
Yeah.
Which is the great wide receiver who could do everything well except the receiving. I remember when the Browns had Greg Little. Greg Little was great. Couldn't catch worth a damn. Greg Little be beating his man 15 yards off the line of scrimmage, clean route, throw the ball to him, pop. Damn. It's just frustrating. Because you always feel like you got to get him the ball. You got to see if this is going to be the one that he catch.
And then the other two receivers that I thought actually played really well in this game. I mean, James Washington played well at the end. Obviously, the game was different by that point because the Chiefs were kind of, they were playing far more off. But he made a couple nice catches down the stretch. I mean, certainly, the kind of combat catches that I wish someone like a Chase Claypool was capable of, James Washington makes with far more regularity.
Claypool, man, he had a rough second year.
Yeah, you talk about a sophomore slump. It's like a sophomore fall off a cliff. I mean. Yeah, he doesn't look anything like this. Is a guy who last year had 10 touchdowns.
Yeah,
this year he's fallen completely off. It's a situation with him where I think you have to stop treating him like an outside receiver. I don't think he's an outside receiver. I think he's a big slot, and that's really stupid to say because he has the build, he has the makeup of a guy who should be a dominant outside receiver.
Think about Deontay Johnson. Deontay Johnson's build, I think, fits more the inside, the slot.
But he can't.
But he can't. There you go.
You got a slot receiver who can't catch. Like what?
I know. So they're flipped. There you go.
And then you got Juju who came back in this game, and Juju who came back from an injury that doctors told him was going to take him 6 months. He comes back in 3, and I thought he looked just like Juju. I mean, you couldn't tell that this guy was playing through a shoulder injury or anything.
Sign Juju. right?
They got to sign Juju, I think. Yeah, they have to sign Juju again. Because otherwise, what do you do at wide receiver? You're gonna go back with no more James Washington, no more Juju, and it's just Deontay and Claypool at wide receiver.
Draft a guy.
I mean,
I think drafting someone is on the table as well.
If you're planning on rolling out the whole what's his name back there, Oklahoma State guy,
Mason Rudolph.
Yeah, Mason Rudolph and the Dwayne Haskins show. Do you really care what you put around him?
I mean, we'll talk more about that in the offseason. Yeah, because it is, it's kind of a fork in the road for the Steelers at this point, which is that do you try to just tank because you look at the 2023 QB class and you're like, that's what I want to be a part of? Or do you go out, and try to compete again? Because if you're going to compete again, then you got to upgrade a wide receiver. If you're not trying to compete, you got a pretty good wide receiver.
I feel like if you re-sign Juju, that's putting tinted windows on a 92 Cavalier. Like, I don't know if it's appreciated at that point.
If you're, especially if you're keeping Mason around. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, look, like that. I mean, look, there are no, as I've always said, there are no happy endings in sports. Ben Roethlisberger does not go out a winner. He goes, of course.
Ray Lewis had a happy ending.
Okay,
he cheated.
There are very few. If you want me to be technically sound about it, there are very, very few happy. Yes, I know. They're all outliers.
There's salt in the wound, Tony.
Yeah, there are.
Last week,
there are very, very few. Happy
Kobe went out pretty good.
Who?
Kobe. He had that 61-point game.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
That's what Ben almost had.
No.
Yeah, but did it matter? Yeah, I mean, their last game felt like a playoff game.
That's what I'm gonna say. Right. That's what I'm gonna say. Is like while the Steelers season didn't end well.
Could you imagine if Kobe had that game and then went out in the playoffs and then looked like old Kobe those last 2 games of his career?
Yeah,
that would have been bad.
You don't want to remember Kobe like that.
You don't want to end like that, man. You know what I mean?
Sad. Yeah.
Good thing he went out in the regular season like a G.
Yeah.
Unlike that.
Uh-oh. We got a surprise entrance. All right, well, Andrew, I think. Uh-oh.
Oh, his shirt came in.
Fellas?
What's happening?
Nothing much, man. Feeling pretty good. Ending that drought. My voice is still recovering. But we're feeling good, man. It's been crazy. It's already Titans fans, man. That I don't know if you guys were in that spaces earlier between Bengals fans and Titans fans, but man,
Titan fans are top tier annoying.
Oh yeah,
Sonny can speak to that.
Yeah,
Titan fans are so annoying. I even rooted for the Ravens one year because I was like, the Titan fans, shut up. Yeah. You lost to everybody in the division that year too. Just shut up, Titan fans. Be quiet. Baker Mayfield owned you one time, dog. Let's be quiet. No more Titan fans. No more. Even with Derrick Henry and MVP form, no more Titan fans.
Sorry about that, fellas. My daughter's school bus was running in extremely late. I don't know what's going on there, but glad to be here.
It's okay. So before we
snow on the streets here in Orlando is the problem.
You joke. It shut down where I'm at. You know what I mean?
Before we keep going, let's pay some bills and then we have some super chats.
Yeah. Let me pull that up real quick. All right, there's nothing like the NFL playoffs. Move over, Bills Mafia. It's time for Balls Mafia with our sponsors of today's show, Manscaped. They're here to remind you that the recipe for success in the playoffs is to protect your franchise quarter balls. The road to the Super Bowl is never easy, but the road to your Super Balls is just a few clicks away. Take the Lambeau leap and join the 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped. With our exclusive offer, go to manscaped.com and use the code AFC North Talk. That's AFC North Talk for 20% off and free shipping. This year, take your package to the next level with the Performance Package 4.0 and their brand new Ultra Premium Body Wash and 2-in-1 Shampoo and Conditioner. Inside the Performance Package 4.0, you'll find the Signature Lawnmower 4.0. This electric trimmer is designed to trim hair on loose skin. The advanced skin-safe technology reduces cuts and nicks on your delicate nuts. It also comes equipped with a 4000K LED spotlight. This package will change the way you approach prepping your field before the big game. A grooming routine isn't complete without applying the Crop Preserver Ball Deodorant and Crop Reviver Ball Toner before showing off your 2022 self. These liquid formulations take care of the smelliest parts of your body and are a big boost to your confidence into the new year. And to complete the set, Manscaped threw in their Shed Travel Bag and anti-chafing boxer briefs as free gifts to help you all your goodies be stored comfortably. And the new product that needs no introduction, the Ultra Premium Body Wash from Manscaped solves all three for the perfect addition to your daily grooming routine, but in the shower. I shower every day. Hopefully you do too. This body wash smells great. It's cologne infused with aloe vera and sea salt to keep your skin feeling clean, nice, and moisturized. Let's blitz pore hygiene all night and use the best tools for the job. Be sure to travel to manscaped.com for our exclusive offer of 20% off and free shipping, but you have to use the promo code AFC North Talk. That's AFC North Talk, all one word.
Okay. With that, let's go to some super chats that we have for a little bit of time. Let me fix that. Ray Rex says, I think Malik is still on probation too.
He got arrested.
Yeah.
So that's not good.
Cleveland should trade the 13th Baker and Ward for Carr or Dak.
For Dak? Yeah, for Carr? Oh.
I wouldn't need it.
Carr. Definitely not for Derek Carr.
Not even
a little much for Carr. It's a little much for Carr.
For Dak either.
I have a high opinion. Dak.
No way in
I think
hell
Dak's a
should the
top 10
Browns
guy.
trade
Dak
for Derek Carr. No.
Well, for Dak, that's not enough.
That's a Russell Wilson price point.
Yeah,
we might be pushing that first till
you wouldn't do that for Dak?
No.
I would do it for Dak for sure. I'd do it for Dak.
You have to understand though, Sonny. You have to understand though. We're giving up Baker, which means that like we got to make up for it at some point, right? In that deal, because Baker's like $18 million, and it's not quarterback play that's worth that. So
yeah, but
you gotta in the trade market, you gotta do something over. If you're trying to get Dak, Derek Carr, though, nah, man, I'll find somebody else that'll take Baker for like a fifth or something like that. But Derek Carr, if that's what they offering and they take Baker off our hands, give us Dak. Yeah, if they want that for Seattle, wants that for Russ, absolutely, I will pay that for what I feel like could be top 10 quarterback play. But
the Raiders deserve another DeMarcus Russell for treating Derek Carr the way that they. I mean, you know. It's just crazy because he's got to go through all of these trade rumors, right? And then he has to deal with Gruden and all of that, the trade rumors. Then they fire Gruden and they fire Mayock, and they're still talking about trade rumors for Derek Carr.
I know. And I think a lot of it now depends on who the new GM and who the new coach are going to be, right? Do they even,
Yeah, but think about this. There is like a quarterback drought, especially coming from a draft that has no really good quarterbacks as far as we see. And you're going to trade your quarterback down? I mean, to be fair, it might be
had no business dealing with everything they've been through. It's a miracle that they made the playoffs.
Here's the game theory.
They reward this guy with get out of here.
If there is a year to suck within the near future and just bottom out, this is the year, right? Like if you're bad this year, there are quarterbacks that you feel like are much better prospects than this year, right? So, it would make sense. If you inherit Derek Carr and you're like, this ain't the guy I want, trade him, get some assets for next year so you can either move up or be that pick in 2021. That's why I think the Browns ain't trading this year's draft pick. I think they're trading next year's draft pick if they trade for a quarterback, because that's going to be more appealing to teams who want a quarterback later on.
Yeah, you want the 2023 assets.
Yeah.
Hate betting. I do it all the time. Shout out to you, Elected Tyro.
Don't hate it.
Shout out to you. Says pretty wild that last ranked coach, last ranked O-line, last ranked defense, last ranked tight end, second to last running back, and last ranked quarterback are Super Bowl contenders.
That's a good one.
That's a good one because I actually wanted to go back and review the rank, and I was like, "There's too many videos."
That was Bengals 4 was a meme, dog.
Wait, last ranked defense though?
Did we do
Bengals last ranked defense?
I don't think we did defense as a whole though, but they definitely were upset about some of these defensive grades here, because I remember what safety was a big contentious one.
Safety, they were 2 in safety.
No, they weren't 2.
They were 2 in the combined one.
The overall average.
I don't know.
I got flack because I put the Ravens on.
It was between.
I think Quincy had us last.
Oh, that's right.
That was the one where you guys were like, "We got to bring."
Yeah.
I did this podcast. Favors in the summer.
What? Jesse Bates didn't have a great year. I mean,
I did the podcast. No favors in the summer because I brought down all those Bengal averages.
I have Bengals 2 in the safety category. And I think in the D line I had them high.
I think I might have put them 3 as well. Now that I think I might have put the Bengals 3. No,
I
I think I thought about it and I didn't, or maybe I don't remember.
I think
Quincy convinced you. I think Quincy convinced you.
I convinced a lot of people to put the Bengals.
Well, you put him at 4. I remember you put him at 4. I remember that. Like it was yesterday. That I remember.
I know I pushed Sonny back to 4 a couple of times.
For linebacker, Tony trolled my Ravens, and I remember putting them high because of that video. I remember that was one that I changed my ranking just to spite Tony.
Wait, linebacker, they must have been 4 because I mean it's Logan Wilson and Jermaine.
Everybody's linebackers were bad.
No, I think I had
the Browns had good linebackers.
I had Browns 4th and linebacker.
Patrick Queen's the best linebacker in the division. Remember?
Oh, no doubt. Now next year,
well,
number 1, no doubt. We'll talk about it.
Browns still had the best. Browns still have the best defense in the division. I'm just gonna say it.
That might be true. I don't know. We'll see. Ryan here says tails never fails.
Albert Einstein. Thank you, Ryan.
It rhymes.
Before you missed it, I was explaining that tails never fails is science. Everyone
it's not. It's literally not. Heads have 51%.
Tails cannot fail. Yeah, if you call tails, you will get it right. I mean, it's 100%.
Yeah. New Mexico says, even though I was born in New Mexico, sorry. I am a fan of the Steelers, even though we got blown out. Go Steelers!
Yeah, Steelers fans, look, there's no reason for Steelers fans to feel embarrassed today. Everyone said going into the game, the Steelers are going to get blown out. The Steelers got blown out, and everyone after the game is like, "How embarrassing for the Steelers!" What?
Okay.
Yeah, I think Joe Thomas caught himself in the salt mix.
Joe Thomas, fantastic.
Yeah. And look, bro, Joe Thomas is maybe Miles could get away with it because Miles has some more better moments against the Steelers. Joe Thomas, man, it's hard because his whole career was in that bed and just like dominating you for your whole life timeline. Like it wasn't a good look for my man Joe Thomas.
Loved it.
He should have not said no tweets. Because they're going to say your whole career participation trophy. I already know what they was going to say the second I saw that.
That was...
Ray Rag here says, Q, it was amazing to see people presented with evidence about Baker play for his whole career and were upset you didn't cherry pick 10 specific games.
I was shocked that that's what people's response was that I picked the wrong sample. That 62, his whole 62 game sample is not what I should have looked at.
No.
They said I should have looked at 10 specific games with Baker Mayfield.
You should have looked at, I forget how many it was. I think it was like 17 games in the elite category. Those are the only games you should be looking at. Ignore everything else.
No, it wasn't 17. It was like 5 1 year and then 3 in Pro Bowl. And then he had 27 below 45 QBR games in his career.
Not good.
Not good.
Greg Little also did that in Madden, all drops.
Bro, I don't know what Greg Little catch rating was, but it had to be 0. You had to use her Greg Little when you had Greg Little on your team.
Electric Tyrone here's 92 Cavalier. I don't know why.
Yeah. Because I said re-signing Juju just to start Mason Rudolph putting tinted windows on a 92 Cavalier.
Gotcha. Damn, we were behind.
Although I was, here's the weird thing about the Juju contract because Juju's contract he has the void years on it. So so right now he's automatically going to cost the Steelers $5 million. So anything they sign him above that, right? It's like he's only going to cost the difference between $5 million and whatever they sign him for. So it's a super cheap deal to come back. So I think they are going to bring him back.
Yeah, it makes sense. And he wants to come back.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if he wants to come back for next year.
For Mason Rudolph?
Well,
I don't know what his relationship is with them.
Look at his numbers the year that Mason started the entire year.
Not great.
No good. not good.
We make Browns fans mad. Is Juju coming to Cleveland? He would be a fit.
Ooh. Yeah, but isn't he essentially a younger version of Landry, like that type of receiver?
And Landry's a fit.
Well,
Juju likes to block. He's very physical.
That's true.
Very strong wide receiver.
Very good block.
Very good underneath and yak routes. I mean,
who's your outside guy? Peoples Jones.
We don't have an outside guy. We traded. We released our outside guy.
Oh, you mean that play well?
Yeah. We gave him up for free.
You guys got to give Drew Archer a chance.
What, Anthony Schwartz?
Yeah, come on. Huh?
We gave him a chance. He got benched. We was putting in
4.2 speed, man.
Who's putting in Jamarcus Brantley over him
you can't teach 4.2 speed.
Yeah, you also can't teach them how to run routes, which is what we're figuring out.
It's cool.
A lot of truth to that.
Autumn here says, "Love the Steelers losing. Can't wait for Saturday."
Oh, the Bengals play on Saturday again?
Yeah.
They gave him the worst time slot again.
Why
Saturday
did
at
they
4:30.
disrespect? Hold on, wait. Let me take
No,
that.
Apparently they disrespect the Titans too, because the Titans fans are like, nobody even talks about us. We're the one seed, and I'm like,
well,
I mean,
I struggle with the Texans, bro.
I mean, look, everyone looks at the AFC playoffs and says the exact same thing every time they look. They go, wait, how the hell did the Titans get the 1 seed? How?
Yeah.
Everybody's looking at the Titans like, yeah, we about to hit a lick. You know what I mean? Like, Bengal fans are looking at this game like, yeah, we drew the 1 seed. Let's get it.
Yeah,
let's get it.
This is the path that I wanted. This is the path that I wanted. Like, it's honestly it's crazy because it seems like the path on this side with like the 4th seed, Derek Carr and Ryan Tannehill instead of Josh Allen and Pat Mahomes and Bill Belichick. Yeah, sign me up for that.
It's crazy, right?
I saw a lot of Bengals fans on Twitter before the Steeler game actually like switching, right? Because before they were saying, "Oh, we hope the Steelers win, hope they knock the Chiefs out." But then once the Bills won, and so it was like, okay, well now the Bengals are guaranteed to go to Tennessee if the Chiefs win. Literally, no, actually, we want the Chiefs to win because now Bills and Chiefs can knock each other out and we get Tennessee. Yeah, right. I mean, no one has to look. Sorry, Titans fans, but no one has respect for you as a 1 seed because it makes no sense.
The even hilarious 4D chess part about this is, remember when we were having the Burrow conversation, we brought up Ryan Tannehill. Mm-hmm. Now we're in a situation where Burrow gets to go against Ryan Tannehill in the playoffs.
We'll talk about that this week. Be sure to subscribe and hit the bell.
You have to give Tannehill some credit though, because they did go 12-4 or whatever without Derrick Henry. So like,
and that's the thing. Like, I give the Titans all the credit in the world because they doing that, and then they had the most injuries in NFL history. For them to do what they did to get to this point, I mean, it's well respected. But you guys know when you get to the playoffs, it's
you're
like
allowed to say that, Ace. You're not allowed to say most injuries in NFL history.
They had it. But the question with the Titans is similar to the question with the Cowboys. Cowboys ate that division, right? In the case of the Titans, they have 2 teams. There are top 3 picks, right? Within the Texans.
That's what people were saying. They get offended when you say that. Oh, our division's easy. That's what
division is easy.
No, they tried to talk trash about the AFC North. They tried to say everybody over here was hurt and trash. And that's what they tried to rebuttal with.
I'm not last year, and we almost swept their division last year.
Yeah,
what are you talking about?
I want the AFC North
all of us got a piece of that Titan booty last year, bro. Every single one of us, from first to last, we all got pieces on that Titan butt.
Oh, we got the Titans again this year, and the Steelers beat the Titans. So that tells you everything.
Let's talk about this too. Let's talk about the bottom of the division. Ravens and the Steelers. I'm sorry, Ravens and the Browns were at the bottom of this division. You're telling me the Ravens and the Browns are not better than the Jaguars and the
They are easily better. I mean, you can't help which division you play in, but they were like kept throwing out, we've got 12 wins and all of that. And it's like, 4 of those are but the one guy said, in all fairness, which this is true, even when you play those teams and it's a divisional game, usually they tend to be close. Like, they're closer than if not the Titans, but the Texans and the Jaguars, if they were to play another team. But still, I mean, they have played some decent people though. They talked about how they beat the Chiefs, they beat the Rams, they beat
when King Henry was running all over people.
No, they beat the Rams without Henry. They beat the Rams without Chiefs
early in the season.
Count the Rams though, because we know why the Rams lose games when they lose games.
Yeah, that was one of Stafford's. I believe
that was one of them Matt Stafford pick six extravaganzas.
That was a pick six.
But I would get one free. You know he be giving them out, some coupons out.
I'm sad. Real quick, I'm sad that we didn't get like a Stafford versus Kyler suck off. Like they were both just throwing pick six.
That's what I thought. I thought it was going to be really the stoppable force versus the movable object. I thought they was going to fumble that thing all the way through overtime. How disappointed was I to see that the one team just played football and the other team didn't.
The problem is now people are saying, "Oh, well, that Rams team is going to beat the Buccaneers." I'm like, you saw Stafford when he plays. Now he's due. Now he's
bet against Brady, man. Never count Tom Brady out in the
I was watching that game. I was like, Matt Stafford is playing so well right now that's not good for next week.
Yeah, I'm saying he's due. He's in law of averages. It's coming down.
Yeah, he's gonna start off the game with a pick six.
Yeah, imagine getting beat by the Chiefs so bad they didn't even have to bring out the GOAT.
No, they instead they a couple things that the Chiefs did in this game. They number one, they had Travis Kelce throw a touchdown pass, which was come on, man. Yeah, come on. They had a fat guy. They did three things. Three things.
Oh, fat guy touchdown.
Fat guy touchdown. Okay, cute. Thanks a lot for that. Needed that.
We did that to y'all.
We
did it to the Titans.
They then had Travis Kelce throw a touchdown pass. Cute.
And then they did
and then the third one, and which I actually respected because it is a good troll. They put an announcement on their video board and they're like, we apologize, Chiefs fans. Well, the Chiefs have scored so many times, we've run out of fireworks. Please. Which was a lie because at the end of the game, when the Chiefs won, they did like 9,000 fireworks. So they clearly had more. But, listen, as a professional troll myself, I did appreciate that troll.
The troll. Yeah.
As much as it hurt.
Noah's still here. Yeah. Noah's still here. Says Bengals' first playoff win in my life. Needed rest.
Oh, get out of here.
Get
out.
We're going to talk about this game very, very soon. I tried to argue with some people that responded to your tweet. I just had to give up because they were not being reasonable.
The Baker die. I mean, at this point, if you're a Baker diehard, like your whole argument has to be pretty unreasonable because I joke about this within Browns community, but like there's nobody outside of Cleveland that's like, yeah, man, that Baker's getting a rough deal. Like this is not what the rest of the league thinks. So it's not like
top 5 roster coming into the year.
Everybody's like, the Browns roster is pretty good, but the quarterback sucks. That's the opinion of the Cleveland Browns outside of Cleveland and inside now, except for like 5% of the fan base.
Diddy here says, Ace, who they, bro? Flat your phone.
That boy had to text me back from
Apple Watch. Man. So another layer to the Tyler Boyd touchdown that was in question. When that play happened, I went so crazy and insane and celebrated that I ended up breaking my phone screen. I didn't know that I did. I think it was in my pocket.
You scratched your phone?
And so then I pulled it out a couple plays later, and it's not even broken to the point where the screen is just it still comes on.
You
couldn't see anything.
Black.
You couldn't see black with like a little blue strip when it would light up. I was like,
that boy broke the motherboard. You slapped the shit out that phone. What did you do? Throw it to Tyler Boyd?
It happened. So we were in, I think, like section 106 or something. So that actually happened like right in front of, kind of near the area that I was in. So we all went insane when it happened. Because we thought the play was we thought when Burrow went over, we were like, all right, what's going to happen? And then we finally just see the ball come out of a trajectory and Tyler Boyd catch it. So we just went insane.
Ace, did you gritty on your phone?
Is that what happened?
Did you gritty on your phone? Is that what happened?
No.
Did you hit the gritty on your phone? Did the whole section do a gritty over your phone?
Nah. The funny thing is, and I forgot to tell this because my phone was broken. I didn't get it fixed until like Sunday or whatever. As I was walking into the game, the game is getting ready to start. I see this large figure come like walking in, and I'm like, this guy looks familiar. And he's got like these blonde, like kind of twists and stuff. And he looks to the left. I'm like, that's Michael Jordan. I'm like, it's the Bengals guard, Michael Jordan.
God. Okay.
And it was dope to see him there because, he received so much hate and stuff from the fans. But you have to remember, not only was he there because his teammates, but he actually grew up a Bengals fan. So it was dope seeing him there. In the crowd, but I had completely forgot about it because so much stuff happened from the beginning to the end of that game, and I think him and his girlfriend went and sat like a few rows over or something like that.
Okay,
damn, man, Paul Brown, you gonna get that man a box for his years of service?
He had to sit out there with y'all. He was sitting down with the fans. Okay,
6'5", 350 of him.
Yeah, he was tall.
I would be mad as hell if my seat was behind Mike Jordan. It'd be cool for like 10 minutes, and he'd be like, "Yo, dog."
I did dap him up though to let him know that it was all love. But I think I've had some pretty bad Mike Jordan videos where I'm kind of going in on him.
So we have a couple square chats here, so we're following a little behind. Sean David,
wasn't he the dude that was blocking for Burrow when he got his ACL torn? Yeah, that's the man.
Yeah.
It feels weird.
He relieved.
it feels weird to be at this point in the season without talking about the draft. So who should the Bengals take at 32?
I see what you did there.
That's a good choice.
Bengals fans, I gotta give y'all credit. Y'all have gotten
Approved.
so much better at y'all trolling game from like week 1 to where we are at now. The progression, it's been Joe Burrow like.
Exactly. I was just gonna say, like, just like the Bengals, like they hit a mid-season point where like the light bulb went off, and they're like, oh. Hold on, I got this.
After that second Steelers game, y'all been elite, boy. I'm just gonna let y'all know that trolling. I'm messing. Sometimes y'all get me. I'm like, oh, okay, that's good. I gotta respect it.
That's why I had to leave out. That's why I had to leave out the Bengals from all my trolling last week because I knew, like, listen, these guys are pretty good at coming back, so I gotta leave them out.
Bengal fans up there. I respect it.
Soul Train here says it's unfortunately a blessing that Malik messed up and the Browns can use the money elsewhere. But is a DT in play for the first or second round?
It is not a blessing. Malik McDowell was one of that man got caught butt naked fighting a security guard. Yeah, it's not good in Florida, so you know.
Florida man.
Yeah,
another Florida man story for us to deal with. Tony. Exactly. They're probably not even going to realize he's not from Florida, but they probably were just like, exactly. Florida man.
I don't know what made him think he could go to Florida. He was still on parole or something like that. But it was, it's not good. It's not good. Malik McDowell is legit our best defensive tackle this year, and
I hope
we have not been good at drafting defensive tackles.
Didn't they take one in the third round like a year ago?
Tommy Togiai, who got beat out by Malik McDowell, who was a camp signee.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So
same thing with Andrew Billings.
Is he not in the running next year for like a?
I mean, he's not good enough to start.
Gotcha.
He can come in some duty, but he's just not big.
Marie Wiles, shout out to you for a super sticker. Is a hug. It's sending us hugs. Shout out to you.
Appreciate it
for that big donation.
Appreciate that.
Nova Stone here says Bengals so cocky they need to be humbled by the Titans. I mean, Titans fans are super cocky. So,
hold on.
Wait.
Let's leave the super chat for a second.
Fans cocky, or is Nova Stone like super cocky about Tom?
Is he cocky, or is Nova Stone secretly worried about Joe Burrow going up against his boy Brady here? Is he doing a little bit of a hey, I need them to get knocked out? Nova Stone, you a little worried? A little worried about Burrow now?
What's 9 times 12?
I don't know, man. It's too high.
108.
108?
Mm-hmm.
One at the section 8.
108. No, I was in 106.
Lie, Ace. Lie.
Hey,
wow, it was about to be like a Jim Carrey situation.
1 + 8 is 9. There you go.
He was in row 6 plus 102. That was boom. That's 108 right there. Joe Burrow over Tom Brady.
Ace, any help? Heard any DL help news other than Gino?
I have not so far, and that's an interesting one because we saw the whole thing where what's the guy's name? The safety Eric Weddle unretired and kind of signed.
Yeah.
The news broke that because obviously the Bengals lost some guys on the defensive line. Larry Ogunjobi, he's actually good friends with Geno Atkins, and Geno kind of convinced him to sign here. It started swirling that after the game, I think that AJ Green had text, I believe Jesse Bates or something to congratulate them. And then somehow Geno Atkins got brought up, and I think either Jesse Bates or someone said Geno should join them because they could use him for this stretch. Now it's weird because Geno does it. If you know Geno Atkins, even though he was like a superstar NFL player, future Hall of Famer, he's not really a talkative person. He doesn't talk to the media or anything like that. He's been enjoying his family life, but the weird thing was on the day that story came out, it was snowing in Cincinnati. I was there. He posts on Instagram a picture with him and his family. So I don't know if there are two subliminal messages here or not, but it was him and I believe his son and his wife. His son is wearing a Bengals hat. His wife is wearing a Bengals hat as well. And he's like having a snow day, and the post is about snow day. It was snowing in Cincinnati, so I don't know if he's in Cincinnati or if he was saying, hey, instead of me coming back to Cincinnati, I'm enjoying my family. So people are trying to decode what that post meant, but I haven't heard anything about Geno Atkins. I haven't reached out to anybody And I think Zim was going to reach out to somebody to try to confirm, but I don't think he's heard anything back yet.
It has to happen soon, right? Because they're practicing already, right? So it have to.
Yeah, it would have happened already. I think if he were there, it would have already have happened.
And the picture you're talking about, I mean, he looks in shape in the picture. I mean, the guy's still in shape.
Well, I mean, it's a different thing from being football shape.
Yeah, well,
defensive line. You don't see dudes just unretire on the defensive and offensive
But
line.
the other thing is, like, when he was here in this system, they really significantly reduced like his snaps. So you would think he would probably only need to play like 15% of the snaps, probably.
Yeah.
Like,
didn't he have a problem though with some of the coaches?
Yeah.
Nah, so I did hear that he didn't like his role, but it wasn't to the extent of Carlos Dunlap. Like, it wasn't to the extent where Carlos Dunlap was like, I'm out of here or anything like that. Right. Plus, he was dealing with, like, he literally was playing with like one arm last year. So he really shouldn't even have really honestly been playing.
By the way, Bengal fans, I'm just going to let you know, tell Dan Orlovsky to stop hyping up Joe Burrow because it's never good for anybody. It ain't never good when Dan Orlovsky gets behind your quarterback, asks Carson Wentz and Baker Mayfield how that has gone for us. It is not going well. So tell Dan Orlovsky, nah, bro, we good.
Bruce Stella here says Ben lost since he does not, man.
That's disgusting.
If only it were that easy. If only it were that easy.
How does he know?
There's a bright side for the Steelers. They tie first and fourth quarter.
That's right.
So at least they might wait.
They didn't lose. Listen, if you take the first 20 minutes and you just turn it off there, Steelers fans, it's a great game. So I mean, that's a great game.
We're doing Baker Mayfield math on AFC North.
They quite nearly had a didn't lose, just ran out of time fourth quarter, but it wasn't to be. No. Ben's last throw.
I think I might have jinxed you guys on that one because I was like, see, I told you guys this was going to be a game, and then like right after that.
No. I mean, like, no. As soon as Watt scored, like Mahomes and Andy Reid decided, like, all right, let's just
let's get off easy mode.
Yeah. I mean, like, let's support this shit. By the way, watching Andy Reid's offense live, the amount of open, like guys get college open in that scheme. Yeah. There was a screen pass that they threw to McKinnon. Where like before the ball is even released, I'm looking at the play and I'm like, how does someone in the National Football League even get that open? It was ridiculous.
Because they have everybody on their team.
And Mahomes, by the way, incredible.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
There's live arms, and then there's whatever the hell's coming out of Patrick Mahomes' show.
Is that the first time you saw him live, Tony?
The first time I saw him live. Yeah. The play to Tyreek in the corner. Could that happen right in front of us? The touchdown throw that he had, and I mean, I see it, right? I'm like, all right, I think it was Witherspoon. I'm like, all right, Witherspoon's beat, but I mean, he's still got to fit it in between the safety, right in. I mean, just put it easy enough, just right in there.
Anime Tree here says TikTok in Cleveland, windy weather does not work.
We got an indoor facility for Juju.
The indoor facility thing, by the way, is a really weird. The Steelers have an indoor facility, but they never use it. I mean, they only use it in the case of rain. So I think the indoor facility thing is a little.
That's how the Ravens use it too. If the weather's
bad. I know we keep talking about it, but like it's a little overrated. I think.
Jacob, shout out to you. Thank you for
the meme.
It is a meme. Yeah,
it's just a meme.
This is my super chat. Juju, DPJ, Wilson Briggs, London.
Have you guys seen Drake London at all? Have you guys seen any tape of Drake London?
A little bit.
The USC kid.
Yeah.
Weird. No. He's a super, super physical guy, like a 50-50 ball to the moon type guy. But I don't think he's a separator. Like, I really feel like he's going to be the first wide receiver taken. And I think I feel like he has bust written all over him. But I've been wrong.
I'm gonna do a sunny take. He's a tight end.
He might be. I don't know about him.
I want to see what he runs. I want to see what he runs and all that, like his athleticism. But just from the tape I watched, like, yeah, he's a physical dude. But
no, don't get your 40. I be telling this. Look, I remember when Boykins was coming on the scene, and people are like, "Have you seen his 40? How big he is?" Like, yeah, the 40 when he only has to think, "I'm running straight." As soon as you tell him there's 1 degree deviation from a straight line, that 4.2 goes to 4.4.
Well,
no, I more mean like I think Drake London might be out of the range. Like, again, I don't know if I'm not saying he has to run 4.3. I'm thinking this kid might run like 4.6. And then just be like a guy
over Cup ran like 4.7.
Yeah, but Cooper
Kupp ran 4.7.
He was slow, but he was more he's still in the NFL. He was more a tactician, slot guy that he can get dirty, and he has great route running. That's his MO.
He kind of reminds me of Funches coming out of Michigan. Big old dude.
Oh yeah,
not the greatest separator in the world.
Yeah.
But I was listening to Dominique Foxworth talk about 40 times, and he was like, "Look, man, I ran a 4.38 one time in my life, dog. I trained for that 4.3. I got that 4.3, and I never ran that 4.3 again. So yeah, these 40 times." That is one time that man run. He don't run that time no more because they don't change your 40 time when you 10 years into your career. They still put up your college 40.
Yeah.
So
like Matt
somebody
Jones
40
from the
times. Yeah. You might run at 4.27 at the combine, but you probably run like a 4.5 in practice. You know what I mean, or in the games.
Hugh, this super chat's for you. Can you read it?
Is it time? 2020 Steelers equal to 2021 Cardinals. Cliff Kingsbury is goated. Look, man, y'all try to tell me, oh, Quincy, Cliff Kingsbury, he's a good coach. He won 10 games. And what did I tell y'all? Chat, Tony, what I tell y'all about that man? What I tell y'all? He gonna be good in September. He gonna be good in October. He gonna be all right in November, and he gonna be butt after December. What did I tell y'all? What happened with that man? Got the 10 wins just to do what we knew what Cliff Kingsbury was going to do. I'm shocked he got to a point to where he could clinch the playoffs, right? That's good for Cliff Kingsbury. He ain't never done that before. The most meaningful game Cliff Kingsbury ever coached in his life. Put up the biggest turd I've ever seen in my life. Kyler Murray looked like absolute garbage in that game. I don't know if I could blame that on Kyler Murray because I know what he was up against. His own coach, Cliff Kingsbury, who kept calling passes when he's backed up on the 2-yard line. So don't come in, join with the Cliff Kingsbury jokes now. That was y'all king in October. That was y'all king in September. He was innovating the league. I told y'all, this man had great quarterback in college after great quarterback. It did absolutely Duke with it. And then y'all come here and think that's going to change in the NFL. That man is who he is, which is Cliff Kingsbury, which means just like a pop, it's going to be hot when you first open it, but lift that thing out for 30 minutes. That shit going to be flat as hell at the end of the day. Cliff Kingsbury.
Between that and Allen Robinson, he hit home runs.
You got a couple.
Allen Robinson, what's up? What's up with the Allen Robinson? See, y'all want to come at me for my misses because I missed crazy this year. But I'm gonna get my victory lap for a couple of hits that I got. You know what I mean? I'm a 50-50 guy. I'm Baker Mayfield. I'm inconsistent when it comes to these predictions. All right, but when I'm like a DB, I'm like Trayvon Diggs. That's what I'm like. Look, bro, I might get burnt half the time.
Low lows. Yeah.
Yeah, I might get burnt half the time, but when I get that interception, I'm running to the other end zone and letting you know what I did. So people in chat, y'all want to talk about Cliff Kingsbury, don't ever mention him in this chat again. The name Cliff Kingsbury is banned in the chat. Don't talk about that, man. If he goes and gets 11 wins next year, you know what's up.
Queensberry.
The comparison to the Steelers, I think, obviously is an apt one because they definitely, they
at least the Steelers won their division that year when they was choking, right? Yeah, they got smoked out to third place and they got their ass beat in the playoff. Well, no, second place. Second. Yeah, second
also,
place.
There was another team this year.
They the only team in that division didn't advance.
Their division, and then stuff happened at the but it's a very Steelers has passed. But
the NFC West had 3 teams that make the playoffs, and which team didn't advance? The one that employs Cliff Kingsbury.
The one thing that Cliff Kingsbury did try to tell us at the end of the year, because you'll look at, they didn't lose out, right? They did win one game at the end of the year. Just happened to be against the Dallas Cowboys. So that was another kind of another fraud, right? A couple, the only team that Cliff Kingsbury beat on the stretch. Yeah, exactly. Is Mike McCarthy, the other massive fraud?
Hey, I heard
the NFC.
There's rumors that Kingsbury might get fired, and Dallas might then just go ahead and hire him.
Because that would be the perfect coach for Dallas.
Hold
looks,
on.
All style, gonna choke at the end of the year. Yeah, baby. Cliff Kingsbury to Dallas. I like it. I'm not ready. Mike McCarthy's a good fit too.
Listen, if Cliff Kingsbury gets fired, I'm not ready yet to give up my Canadian citizenship. But I might be willing to give it up in favor of a Cliff Kingsbury as an offensive coordinator.
We'll see. Okay.
Yeah.
Ray Rack
He's gonna go to college and choke in the second half somewhere else. That's what he's gonna do. That's
too late.
Cliff,
Can't go to college.
Cliff Kingsbury can't go a year without choking in the second half.
He does have kind of Alabama assistant written all over him, doesn't he?
Oh yeah. And that'd be the 1 year Alabama blows it to Auburn. You know what I mean? Like what happened?
I know we don't normally read comments that are not super chats, but this one is elite. This guy said that Q's haircut was the biggest improvement the Browns made this year. Hey, Q's haircut, I had to go to my barber and I was like, yeah, I need that fade effect on the sides. I need that.
Need that mid fade. Shout out to Dane.
Ray Rack here says the 2 Madden ratings for Greg Little catching were 84 in Madden 12 and 76 in Madden 25.
He was in Madden 25?
Yeah, I think it's probably Madden 15. It has
to
be.
No, Madden 25.
25 was Madden was like 14 or 15.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Gotcha. I don't know.
I think it's 14.
The rating.
Yeah, that was a weird one.
They were wrong.
All Madden ratings are wrong. Madden ratings are stupid.
Madden ratings are not accurate.
Yeah.
They've got like a 76 and he hasn't even played.
Matt Mosley here says, I love the shows, fellas. You guys are awesome. Who they A's 9 gonna have his cheese hat on?
No, not
Chef
cheese.
hat.
Chef hat. Chef
on
hat.
Saturday. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Chef hat officially retired, by the way, as of Sunday. Very sad.
You got to hang it up there back with your jerseys,
exactly. It's gonna go back. It's gonna go back here somewhere. Yeah. Well, we'll wait till he officially.
You got to do it on. You got to do it on opening day next year. You know, you got to have a ceremony.
Why he hasn't come out?
Just got to go up in the rafters. We got to have like a video.
Have your wife sing the national anthem while it goes up and everything. You know, we gonna do this right.
Yeah, we don't know. We'll set. Yeah, no, Ben's going out the right way.
Akira here says,
probably not until after June 1st, though, when you look at the salary cap implications. But whatever.
Yeah, you're going to have to throw that Canada hat in the garbage.
I feel bad for Michael Jordan. He was a projected player, put in a
position. He was a project player.
Took full responsibility for his play, blamed no one else.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I have always said because he definitely was a prospect level player. He had no business being in there. And Jim Turner was just being Jim Turner and doing Jim Turner things. The only reason he was there was because everybody else thought that Jim Turner didn't know what he was doing. And they would like get into it with him. And Michael Jordan was the only one that listened to him and didn't fight with him. So he just got thrown in there. So yeah, that was a raw deal for him.
Q, he was in front of a daycare fighting a cop.
I don't know if it was a security guard or a cop, but yeah, either way, it's bad. Look, Malik McDowell is very fortunate that the Browns weren't like the team that everybody thought they were, because if they were, he would be a very famous player right now, right? Because he had such a good year coming off of that thing. He would have been a great story. ESPN, you know how ESPN loves to chronicle those stories. So they would have put him all over the broadcast, and then the season would have ended, and he would have been out there with his meat out, fighting a cop at a daycare center. Like, that is the ultimate. What in the world happened to you, dog? Like, was it that bad playing in Cleveland like the 1 year? Like, what happened? What happened?
Video says heel Tony. He's signing with WWE or AWE.
AEW.
I'm not signing with anybody. I'm staying right here on AFC North Talk. Heel Tony will certainly be making more appearances throughout the offseason and into 2022. Stay tuned. Face Tony right now. Going to be a little more humble today.
Train says blessings, as it would have looked worse if he gotten the money. And he's talking about Baker.
I think he's talking about Baker and Malik McDowell.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. And Deontay Johnson.
Deontay might still get it. He might still get his bag.
Well, he's gonna get money, but I don't think he's gonna get the kind of money he could have got if he had a big game against the Chiefs.
Could you imagine the type of high variance football you could play with Baker Mayfield and Deontay Johnson? Like, boy, they're gonna put it together one game and it's gonna be great. You know what I mean? Like, boy, all the other games.
Dane here says, I love that a Tom Brady fan is talking about the rest helping a particular.
And I think that it's pretty ironic that a Patriots fan who was the team that was caught filming Zach Taylor's play calls on the sideline is talking about using help for somebody.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
It's no lies detected. New Mexico here says, why aren't there no commercials of the Pittsburgh Steelers players like there's commercials of Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, and Baker Mayfield? Oh, there's a
because y'all ain't got no, because y'all don't know how to market yourselves. Get y'all money up. Stop hating on Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, Juju is in a lot of commercials. I don't know why TJ's not in a lot of commercials. He may start.
I think boring.
He needs to fire his agent.
There's a reason why Ben is not in a lot of commercials.
That's an obvious one.
Yeah.
But
There's a reason why Ben. Yeah.
Who wants TJ Watt? Like TJ Watt's not a fun guy. You know what I mean? Like
why?
He's just really good at football.
Have you seen him? There was a show about the Watt brothers, 3 Watt brothers.
I'm so tired of Watt brother.
The Ultimate Tag. The Ultimate Tag is. I watched it with my daughters. My daughters love that show. And JJ Watt was really good in the mic. TJ and Derek, not so much.
It's clear that JJ Watt carried all the charisma in the family. You know what I mean?
I like Eli though. No, hold on. Don't
Eli's like an assistant watch commercial just doing this, not talking at all.
See, Tony, the only reason Eli works with Peyton is because Peyton is such a charisma. Like he has so much charisma. Eli's lack of charisma is just hilarious.
No, but he's got that sense of humor too, where it's like
but he's self-aware of it.
But he's hilarious.
He's hilarious. I will give him that.
Yeah.
We didn't get that until after his career, though. We didn't get that Eli until after his career. Before it was just like really awkward.
You put coach speak in the mouth in Eli Manning, and it's just like the most boring. Like, I mean, it is just the worst.
This man here says congratulations to Ace and Bengals.
Baker Mayfield, by the way, top 5 commercial actor in football.
You've been great for everything except gambling tips. Hypothetically, of course, it's always a.
Hold on, I gotta check. I think I have pause. I mean, I don't. We need to do an actual gambling show. We'll probably do it on the Patreon.
Tony was the one that told you guys to go and put all of your money on the Bengals, and he was right about that.
I did say that. That's right. I went on a whole rant about how if you really feel like the Bengals are good, like you can actually get a ton of positive value on the Bengals to win the division and win the Super Bowl and win the AFC. So.
Wait.
You can come at me for a lot of things. Do not come at me for my gambling takes, okay? Okay, because I lose money responsibly. Thank you very much.
I hope. Are they going to give the Titans? Are they going to give the Titans?
Who?
The Titans are favorite.
Titans are favorite.
Titans are favorite. Not by much, but they're the favorite.
Okay. It's not going to be like a good line. You know what I mean?
I think it's Titans by 3 right now.
Yeah, so basically
before I think it opened at like 4.5 or something.
Did it really? Now I wish I could have got that. I would have over that.
Well, look at Tonio giddy up. No one here says Tom Brady 35 times Bengals wins in 21st century. Tom Brady owns.
Does Tom Brady play for the Patriots or no? No, he doesn't. What Mac Jones did? What Mac Jones did this weekend?
No, he's
exclusively a Tom Brady fan.
What happened in that Patriots game this weekend?
But Ace, I think I missed literally a Tom Brady fan. If Tom Brady goes to the Bengals, he will become instantaneously a Bengals fan, right?
I love Tom Brady. Tom Brady is cool.
I think Tom Brady's all right.
Yeah, I'm done with him. I need him to retire as well.
He's a story.
Yeah,
Tom Brady will be around forever. It'll be. I mean, we'll be telling our grandchildren. You know,
they're going to name a bunch of awards after Tom Brady. Look, it's going to be the most annoying thing in the world. I've just learned to stop hating on him just because it's exhausting.
But, okay, sad we won't see Ben leave the game with a hangnail, only to come back to feel the backup's thunder and have.
You got nothing to worry about. This is a great day for Ravens and Browns fans. They're free. You're free. Congratulations. You don't have to worry about it anymore.
You joke. I'm happy. That shit ain't no game to me. Stop playing. I'm waiting for the report to come out that he retired, dog. Like 25 games and however, dog. Once he retire, I'm celebrating.
Are we really talking about rules in a game against the Raiders? Like the tuck, like the you remember
when they invented a rule? Yeah, they literally invented a rule.
Invented a rule? Do you remember that? They decided the entire game. Yeah.
No one had ever heard of the tuck rule before that play, but they just happened to have it handy right then and there.
Nobody had ever heard of the tuck rule or Tom Brady before that play.
That's right,
it literally invented the whole Tom Brady myth. It's a penalty that he benefited from. Get out of here.
Joe here says, "How about them Bengals though? Exceeded expectation and still in it. Who they?"
They didn't exceed expect. No, I'm just messing. I'm just messing with John.
We all had him. Listen, go back and watch our previous.
We all had him in the playoffs. I don't know why this is a surprise.
Yeah, easily.
No.
Easily.
The Bengals season can only be successful if they win the Super Bowl 2 times this year.
I definitely didn't have them 6-10 this year. Definitely did not.
They have to win the Super Bowl 2 times this year, and then they have to win the playoffs in baseball. And then I'll be impressed.
Technically, if you reverse my my pick, I got it right. 6-10.
If you flip these AFC North Talk rankings, they're pretty good.
They were, yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
it was
pretty good. They're pretty good.
2021 was opposite year. Yeah.
Because when we put the Browns at 1 on a lot of these offensive rankings, and boy, did that not bear out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tony here says, Q, why are people arguing facts about Baker? They make so many excuses and also believe he needs a wide receiver one to turn things around. They use the Bengals as an example with Chase, but Baker ain't Burrow.
He had Odell.
Yeah.
This reminds me of
the whole argument when he had a number one wide receiver was, the number one wide receiver is distracting him, right, from seeing the rest of the field. That was the argument when he had the number one wide receiver. He's forcing it. He can't see the whole field. We take out the number one wide receiver. What do we find out? He still can't see the damn field. Turns out Odell didn't have a magic force field around him that blinded Baker Mayfield the entire year. Turns out, the issues are the issues with the dude. But yeah, why are people arguing facts? Because, they still want to believe in a world where Baker Mayfield's going to be a franchise quarterback, and I'm not in on that whole reality no more. Look, and if you want to get burnt 3 times, look, we've been burnt twice by Baker Mayfield. 2019, burnt to a crisp. 2021, burnt to a crisp. Every time we say Super Bowl, this man burns us. If you want to risk being burnt for a 3rd time, bro, that's all on you. But I am out, and I have a lot of data to define why I'm out. Okay.
The one thing I'll say, not to draw more Andy Dalton parallels, but there are a lot. This reminds me of when Andy Dalton had the 2015, and we were at the crossroads, and it was clear like it was a mistake, and people were like, "But remember 2015, Andy Dalton?" And you're at a point now where it's like you get this kind of group, and me and Zim used to call them the Dalton lovers, because they would be like, "No, we don't need Burrow. We just need to go ahead and do whatever."
Bro,
these are the Baker lovers. You're gonna get this segment of people that will make excuses for this player. No matter, bro, we had so many excuses that they made for Andy Dalton and why we should move on from him. It was crazy.
And that makes even less sense in Cincinnati because y'all done had
the funny thing
before.
Funny story is when I was at the game when Joe Burrow threw his first touchdown, I looked at another Bengals fan and I was like, Joe Burrow is now tied for the same amount of touchdowns as Andy Dalton in the playoffs on his first one.
Damn.
Wait. He only threw 1 touchdown.
Andy Dalton's playoff numbers are ugly, bro. It's like 1 touchdown and 6 interceptions, and it was like 150 yards or something. He would play amazing, and they honestly kind of look similar to Ryan Tannehill's Titans fans, but regular season Andy Dalton, playoff season Andy Dalton, 2 completely different people.
That's crazy. He's been in a lot of playoff games, so only have thrown.
And he has not done it. Like, I think TJ Watt, he threw like a touchdown to TJ Watt. That's like his other touchdown. It was a pick 6 to TJ Watt.
Professor Chaos here says, I don't know if this question was asked you. The Browns make a try for Russell, or do
I
we?
think they say mid-trade.
Or make a try to get Russ.
Yeah. Or do we not have a shot? It will cost too much. I mean, it will cost a lot.
It's going to be expensive, but you got a lot of money in your bank account to make this happen. The real question about getting somebody like Russ is, can you find somebody to take Baker Mayfield? That's the real question, right? When we're talking about Jimmy Garoppolo, when we're talking about Kirk Cousins or Derek Carr, anybody with a real cap number, you're going to have to figure out what you're going to do with Baker Mayfield to make that happen. Do you have a trade partner for Baker Mayfield already? Because you're going to have to move pretty fast on this. Baker's going to be old 18. You can't really have another quarterback that's going to be plus 20 and have a $40 million quarterback room.
Are the Browns up against it with the cap next year?
Yeah, they're at like 10. They're plus 10 right now, I think.
Okay, interesting.
So they're not back up against it or anything. But they would have to make some moves and maneuver. You can't have Baker Mayfield and Russ on the roster, right? That's just you don't need that. You got to find somebody to take that Baker Mayfield pill for you. Who's gonna do it? I don't know, because if you read the tea leaves around the league, the stuff that they don't like about Baker is the stuff that makes him really hard to trade. Like they're out on the attitude of Baker.
Yeah.
That makes it impossible to make somebody risk their job to trade for you. And that's not good.
Yep. Especially in an 18 mil cap hit. Ray Rack here says TJ Watt had a Subway commercial.
Oh, yeah, he did. Yeah. I just realized.
How you don't remember these commercials? Because TJ Watt has no charisma. That's why he doesn't have a commercial. You know what I mean?
Who watches commercials? I mean, honestly, only during sports do I watch commercials, because otherwise.
And them Baker Mayfield commercials, look, you can say all you want about his play.
Baker,
no commercials hit. He got some bangers in there.
If you asked a fan who only watched commercials and never watched a game, and you asked them how good do you think Baker Mayfield is, they would tell you, oh, he's probably like the best. He's probably like the best player in the league. He's
probably like an MVP candidate, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's probably. You know what I mean? Yeah.
The face of progressive.
He's the modern Peyton Manning as far as his like.
Who replaces him on them commercials? It's just gonna be Myles Garrett carrying Baker Mayfield the whole year, like on the commercials. It's just gonna be literally Myles Garrett.
Should it be Joe Burrow?
Baker Mayfield. I mean, he hasn't beat the Browns, so it can't be his house. The obvious joke would have been, it's just going to be Ben Roethlisberger, because that house is as much as Ben's as it is Baker's. You know what I mean? That would have been the obvious joke. I would have respected that came out of Tony's mouth, but he didn't take the bait there.
No.
It's probably going to be Lamar.
This is a far more humble, respectful Tony today. Heel Tony was for last week.
It can't be Joe Burrow yet, though, because Joe Burrow ain't never won there. I don't know what they're going. It's going to be Myles Garrett, probably doing incredible stuff, and it's going to probably be better because Myles Garrett's really good.
Yeah, Akila here says Baker is like the Browns' first girlfriend, but he's abusive. They ignore the toxicity because they're afraid of going back to being alone.
I think that hits the nail on the head. I actually do. I mean, I think that like I know that's it's a weird comparison to make, but I think. The fact that there are still Browns fans who are staring at that situation going like, no, we can still make this work, and not realizing like this is kind of a blessing to be able to say like right now we can make, we can get out of this thing and move on.
What's the Simpsons meme? It's still alive. 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 Oh no, it's dead. Man. We're at the point to where, look, Browns fans, I know most of us are in agreement on this, but a lot of us are at the point to where we're like, here's what it's like. If you go to the club every weekend and you keep striking out every weekend, it's not everybody at the club. Maybe your breath stink. You know what I mean? That's where we're at with Baker Mayfield. We can't keep blaming everything else around Baker Mayfield, threatening to tear down everything that's not Baker Mayfield. We want to get rid of the coach. We want to get rid of the GM. We want to get rid of all these players. Oh, we mad at Greg Newsome because he said, oh, go OBJ when OBJ was eating them on Monday. We want to get rid of Jarvis Landry. Or we could just like not care about Baker Mayfield's feelings anymore because he's not the quarterback of this team. But, we'll see.
David here says, I didn't hear a whistle.
I didn't hear no bell. So it was a whistle.
That Spaces I was talking about earlier with the Bengals and Titans, apparently it's still going on like 3 hours later.
Wait. That will last until Saturday.
Whose Spaces is it?
I think Zem started it up, and then he added me on. And there was some drama in there because you guys already know how Zim is. So people who aren't familiar with Zim, they're just like,
you gotta do your research. You know what I mean?
So they just think like Zim is like
analyst or something.
They take it like personal, and I'm like, that is just how he is. Like when me and him have debates, when he talks to anybody, that's just how he is.
That man's gonna scream and yell, and then he gonna get up and pump his chest and get real hype about like a specific thing. I remember last time was like Auden Tate. He was getting hype about. That man got passion. That man got passion by the truckload. I'll give him that.
Baker, I'm sorry, Anime here says Baker personality and excuses are not a starter
of a starting quarterback.
Yeah.
Look, man, we don't even got to go to his personality and the excuses. We could just go to the play.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, but I do think though that the thing with Baker in Cleveland, it does come down to like his, him in the locker room and all that, and like how much the players respect him. And
by the way, I've been saying this for weeks. Y'all see how quick they were like, yeah, man, OBJ, go eat, baby. Go eat. Ain't none of them dudes send a tweet out, hey, get healthy, 6.
Yeah.
We gonna get them next year, buddy. No. None of them. Not a single skill player is out here.
I think it's a bigger problem.
Yeah.
I mean, even than the money. You eat the $18 million just to get rid of that guy to your locker room.
I had to point this out to somebody. Dog, the safeties and the DBs are the main ones being like, yeah, that man ain't good. That's not good, bro. They go up against them in practice. John Johnson said, run the ball. He's the free safety on the team, dog. Yeah. If there's somebody to listen to that they're saying run the ball, it is the dude that's probably intercepting him a lot in practice. That tells you a lot with certain players or certain. If it was a defensive fan, I wouldn't sweat it because defensive fans all think quarterbacks are overrated no matter who they are. But yo, free safety?
Yeah.
The leader of the defense.
Okay.
Yeah. No, it's a great point, actually. You know, I as you were saying that, a safety getting tired of offensive players, training camp, who did Minka Fitzpatrick beat the crap out of in training camp? Chase Claypool. Chase Claypool. No, Chase Claypool. Beat the crap out of him. So, yeah.
I'd be feeling bad for Chase sometimes because the whole league hates him. So, like, he be getting some extra licks whenever he be just out there ready to get hit. He'd be like, yeah, they don't like you as a man. Like, that's the type of hits that you get.
Because it's because he doesn't know, like, he doesn't have self-awareness. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just don't, like, now is not the time. You know, he'll celebrate in the fourth quarter of a loss. Or, you know, he did the whole celebration thing in the Vikings game. Yeah. I mean, it's just like, he just doesn't.
It's not my fault.
Doesn't get it.
Yeah. So Luis here says I'm with the Q there. Nobody talking about 6. Look, to put a pin on the, because I don't think we're gonna talk much more about the Steelers game because I think the prediction from Claypool was accurate. They
ended up getting clapped by the Chiefs.
Yeah,
we didn't get clapped by the Chiefs. We lost by like 3 or 7 or something like that. Yeah, it came down to the fourth quarter.
So let's talk about one of 2 good games this weekend. I don't know if the 7th seed ruined the wild card weekend, but it felt weird because it was like blowout city. Even the San Francisco and Dallas game, that was like a lopsided game until Dallas decided, oh, let's just play now and try to make a game. And the only game score-wise that was competitive basically throughout was the Bengals-Raiders game. I'm going to talk to Ace here. He was live in the flesh over there. And by the way, that stadium was rocking.
Yeah, the stadium was insane, bro. You could just feel that the energy was just different, just interacting with people around the city, you know, drawing the Raiders. It was a familiar foe, and Joe Burrow was just the X factor. Like, Joe Burrow was the guy I feel like everybody kind of fed off of, and I kind of wondered how this game was going to go. It seems different when you actually are at the game versus watching it on TV. It's almost like kind of 2 different kind of things because you kind of notice extra things. Like, there was one play where I think it was a timeout, and like Joe Burrow's just over there talking to Max Crosby away from the huddle. So you see kind of extra things that happen. And like in the game, I don't know if they tweeted about it or not, but like I saw Joe Mixon leave at one point early in the game and go to the locker room and I think get some kind of work on his ankle or something like that. But for me, it was just a great atmosphere to be in. They start off the game. Larry Ogunjobi forces that turnover like early in the game, and it just seemed during the game, even though the Raiders weren't throwing for a gargantuan amount of yards, it just seemed that anytime they kind of needed something, that they would kind of have a guy like open and he would catch it and go for a first down. And so it kind of went from feeling like it was going to be a blowout to this game like really tightening up. And, you know, a lot of people are talking about the Tyler Boyd play, but there were several plays that I saw just from being there that were really bad on the Bengals side of the ball. I think there was one play where there was like a deep pass to Jamar Chase. And then out of nowhere, the refs were just like, oh, yeah, they called timeout like before that play. And it took them a while to even come up with that kind of decision. But it really was a game that I think the Bengals came out and handled comfortably. I think CJ Uzomah had a really underrated game. I think Jamar Chase obviously was a part of that game plan early and often, and especially once the corner went out, they just kept going to him. And I feel like he played an overall good game as well. T. Higgins was not targeted much in the game. That was something that did stand out to me. Now, he was targeted in a spot where he tried to, I think they tried to take a shot with him for a touchdown, and he just wasn't in position to make the catch. But between, I would probably say, CJ Uzomah, Chase, Tyler Boyd had some plays as well where Joe kind of ad-libbed some things. I think they came out and played a good game. Now, the defense, like I said, it seemed like they were giving up certain spots here and there. They played overall well. Like if you just kind of look at it from a high level, because everybody's like, oh, Josh Jacobs was doing his thing. But I think what the strategy really was Darren Waller. Because if you look back to that first game, Darren Waller killed us. And I think the focus was Darren Waller and Hunter Renfrow. So I feel like when they got the lead, they were willing to live with Josh Jacobs kind of getting some bunches here and there, as long as it wasn't Darren Waller tearing them up for a huge gain or anything like that, which he did. He made this one amazing catch. I was just like, bro, how did this guy make that? I think it was like a deep first down catch or something close to a first down. They were in a 3rd and long situation, and Derek Carr just threw it right to him, and I just couldn't believe he held on to it. But another thing that really stuck out to me is Jesse Bates played a hell of a game in this game. After having a shaky season, for him to come out and really just play how he did in that game, I thought was good. Obviously, we also had some injury issues with Hendrickson going and leaving. So we had Ogunjobi get carted off, then Hendrickson gets taken out. And I think that BJ Hill kind of stepped up when that happened. But for me, just being there, seeing what happened with this city, everything that we've been through, it was a great experience. It was a dope experience. A lot of people were getting nervous at the end. I personally thought before they made that decision to kick the field goal and give Derek Carr the ball back, that was probably the only one that I disagree with. I kind of felt like they could have gone for it, but it worked out. And when the Raiders were driving, I felt like, man, this is going to be a tough situation, because if they come back here and try to force this into overtime, what's going to happen. But it was crazy because on that drive or earlier in that game, there was a similar pass that Carr had threw, and it looked like Mike Hilton was going to pick it off, and a DB came over and kind of tapped it out. And so to see Pratt make that game-winning interception was amazing. The whole place exploded. Everybody was loud, the entire time. They set a record, I think, for attendance. I think it was about 67,000 people there. Stood up the entire game, but was happy to come out there and get the W. At one point, I thought that it was going to get to like 30-13, but then it kind of slowed down. They came back. A valiant effort by the Raiders. I think, they definitely put up a respectable performance. But when I was at the game, the energy didn't ever feel like the Raiders were in control of the game or could have won the game. Like when I was there, they never really had like the momentum. It was like they were kind of playing catch up for the most part of the game. And on that play with the whistle, I personally didn't hear it. Like, now the stadium was loud and super loud, but the players kept playing. So I didn't even know that was a thing until like Twitter, like until after that, because it didn't seem like they reviewed it. It didn't really seem like they took much time on it. Like the other play that I'm talking about, where like they took it away from Jamar Chase for the touchdown, they literally like were huddled up in the middle of the field, and people were like, what is going on? There were a lot of plays from the refereeing on both sides where there was questionable.
Referees were trash.
What's going on? There was like a roughing the passer that they just didn't call on Joe Burrow, where he got knocked down after passing something. But for me being there, it just seemed like we were in control of the game, and it seemed like the defense just stepped up at the right moment at the end of the game. And man, I'll tell you what else, Zay Jones, I was not expecting that. Like Zay Jones was not on my radar for somebody that was gonna do some things for the Raiders. But they went out, and the best thing about this as well is playoff environment, because we haven't won in 31 years. They get in a situation where it's like, all right, here we go again. Same old Bengals. Here come the Raiders. This is how they're going to lose it. And then Jermaine Pratt just ends it with that. The city goes crazy. Apparently, after the game, and I wish I would have found out which bar he was at, Zach Taylor went to a bar and was giving out game balls to the fans, because he said that was the loudest that he had ever heard Paul Brown Stadium. And it was an amazing moment. Zim actually ended up, and the other crazy thing was everybody was wearing like the hoodies and stuff. So that was a humbling moment. That was dope. But Zim actually got to go up to the suite that Tyler Boyd's family had and actually like hung out with Tyler Boyd and his family after the game. And so it was just, everybody was excited. Everybody was finally ready to bury the hatchet. But the dope thing to me was that watching Joe Burrow after the game, Joe Burrow was just like, this is like nothing. Like, what are we really celebrating like this? Like, this is just business for me. And so for Joe, that was the thing too. When we were there, everybody was like, "Hey, let's storm the field." I'm like, "We're not storming the field for a first round playoff game. Like, we can't do that. Like, that's not the goal. That's never been, for me personally, that's just never been the thing. Like, even when people are like, well, if they can just get that playoff game, it's like we play this game. We all play this game to win Super Bowls. And for me, a playoff win is good, but that's not enough. And so I was glad to hear Joe Burrow say that after the game. I was happy for the city, of course. But now it's like we finally have something that we can value. And, now my son doesn't have to go through the same thing that I did, waiting so long to actually see a playoff victory or anything like that. And now we got these new kids and this new generation where now they don't have to deal with that kind of stuff, because the older generation that's older than me, they were there when the Bengals were good. They saw the 88 Super Bowls and all of that when, they had MVPs and stuff like that. But my generation, we weren't really blessed with that. We were kind of the 90s and, the Dick LeBeau era, early 2000s, Achilles Smith and all of that, to Carson Palmer. So I remember when going 8-8 was like the Super Bowl for me when Marvin Lewis first came. And so for most people that, watched with me, they didn't really see the Bengals when they were a top team winning in the playoffs. So that was dope. And then they were just trolling everybody with the whole, no one has sent the text that the Bengals have won a playoff game after that. And so they were like, send a text out. But it was just a dope experience.
Ironically, you broke your phone during the game, so you couldn't see any text.
Ace was not able.
I did send a text though with my Apple Watch. I used Siri. I used a little cheat code. I used my Apple Watch. So thankfully for technology, I was able to do that. But hats off to the Raiders. They played a hell of a game, especially with everything that they've been through this year. I think that they came out and did their best. And man, that game, Tony, I would like to thank Tony for telling me to get those heat packs, because those saved my life. We ended up having a whole bunch of I got like the hand ones. I ended up getting the feet ones. And those really got me through the game, because believe it or not, I was not cold because of those. I had the long john layers and all of that stuff.
Cheat codes.
So it was a dope experience.
Let me say this about the two plays that Ace was mentioning. The refs were completely garbage, and I'm happy that the NFL said they're not going to ref for the remaining of the year, right? I mean, because they were just bad, right?
Wait, they gave the Bengals the one officiating team. They're like, yeah, we're gonna cut them. They're gonna cut first.
Yeah, they cut him. But look,
they didn't cut him. They're just not allowed to officiate anymore.
Yeah, they're just like, man, we know we had the extra playoff game. We had to bring in a C+ group.
Look, Sonny, I hate to cut you off here, but
do they have a good?
They already have determined every officiating crew except the Super Bowl, right? So this is a bull on the part of the National Football League to say they're not going to be doing any more games. They already knew that coming in. There was no way Jerome Boger was getting in the Super Bowl. They're doing this to appease what should be a very pissed off fan base at how poorly officiated that this game and that play was. No, screw the NFL.
But the two plays that Ace is talking about was very egregious, because the timeout, you can see the Raiders clearly calling it before the snap, at least a second before the snap. But the refs never blew the whistle about a timeout. They just didn't, right? And then the Raiders sidelines all pissed off, and the sideline judge like, well, I guess they were calling a timeout. Let me just give it to you. You cannot reactively do that shit, right?
That was insane, bro, because I was just like, what? It took them a long time to come together and figure out. And we were like, that doesn't even make what?
I mean, it was and again, the Raiders did call the timeout way before the snap. It was just the officiator never gave it to them. And then on the touchdown play, the Raiders, it was a touchdown, meaning the Burrow never stepped outside before the throw. That is correct. They did blow the whistle. I mean, I heard it live. And that should have been a touchdown at that moment. Not because it shouldn't be a touchdown, because Joe Burrow was in bounds, but as soon as they called the whistle, they should have stopped the play. And the players, you can see the corner giving up, and Boyd crashing the ball. He didn't even celebrate. He catched the ball. He was like, okay, what happened? What was the whistle about? Right.
But what's that?
Because it was like why the ball was already in the air, right? Like
yeah,
when the
it was while the ball's in the air.
The ball was already in the air.
Yeah, so that's a loose ball. So it technically by rule it should have been. But like to the point to where like if it affected the play, I'm wondering like how much of that was
it did
them. How much of that was them hearing the whistle, or was it like there's no way Joe Burrow got that out of his hands before he landed out of bounds? Because like that's what I thought when I first saw. I was like, there's no way he did that. And like that's the thing about it. It's like, yeah, you could account it to the whistle, but Joe Burrow made a fantastic play to get rid of that ball before his other foot landed. And I think that really affected the defense more because I don't think anybody thought that he was able to get that out in time. And that's why everybody stopped.
You might be right. My point is on rules per se, that shouldn't been called touchdown. I mean, all of these things are real. And this is not to the fact that Joe Burrow made a hell of a play. It's just this officiating crew is just bad. It was just bad for everybody. Now, I will say this, and here's where Bengal fans might hate me. I thought they played a good game, a solid game. I thought they dominated this game. But, I mean, and they just got lucky that they're going to draw the Titans. But if you do this type of game against the Chiefs, or any offense that it would have been competent, they let this team just hang around like for no good reason, right? They just let them hang around, and I was shocked that it was all red zone, right? Offensively, you were moving the ball easily, like no problem, and then you get to that red zone, and it was like you can't punch it in. There was twice, right? You got punched in that touchdown. It was in question because of the whistle. And there was another one that they got punched in, right? Or no. There was a return fumble for a touchdown. I can't remember. The first touchdown was I can't remember the first touchdown.
You talk about when Ogunjobi forced the fumble and then we got it in their territory?
Yeah. So that was the first touchdown, right?
Well, there was also a safety that ref thing that they missed too. It was like a clear safety.
Again, the refs were horrible.
The one on Derek Carr.
Yeah.
I was like, how is that? How is he down at the one? There was no part of his body that was on the 1 yard line.
Yeah. But they can, in theory, say that forward progress, right?
There was no forward progress, bro. You got to at least touch the one, right? Yeah. Like that was he got tackled at the B.
Like, so, but what I'm saying is again, Bengal fan, you can hate me all you want. Is against a better offensive team, you don't want to. You want to move the ball easily, but when you're in the red zone, you have to figure out a way to punch it in. There was too many field goals, and great. I mean, that's fine against this Raiders team, and it's probably going to be fine against the Tennessee
Titans. Yep.
But the other two teams, Buffalo's a streaky team, but when they're hitting on offense, and we know what the Chiefs can do. You can, well, that's what I'm saying, right? It all depends what Buffalo team shows up, but those two teams can put up points. The Raiders, they're hit or miss, right? And obviously, the defense also held and bent and didn't break. But you, as a power offense, as the Bengals are, right? They're equipped with a great running back and great receivers. I was disappointed. I don't know about you guys. I was disappointed that every time they went to the red zone, they couldn't punch it in.
I mean, that's valid, but I think the Raiders really concentrated on Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon has murdered the Raiders, I think, in the past couple of matchups, and I think that they just really concentrated on that. I do feel like Zach he kind of tempers in between conservative and then risky, right? And I think in this situation, he was way more conservative when it came to that with making runs on second down. And so I think, because of that definitely did cause some issues in the red zone. But I don't think that it's going to be something that's going to continue past this game. That definitely is something that was a cause for concern. But I think the difference with Zach is he also, when it comes to being conservative versus taking chances, he's aware of which quarterback he's up against. So when it's someone like Pat Mahomes, he's probably going to go for it on fourth down or something like that. Or he's going to try to run the clock out like he kind of did against Pat Mahomes, taking that risk versus a Derek Carr or, a quarterback that you wouldn't consider like an Aaron Rodgers level type of guy. So it's definitely a valid concern, but I don't think that that's going to happen. I mean, they came out slow against the Chiefs, but then they put up points and this team, whenever they are in close games, I think that they feel like Burrow can still pull it out.
Now, that was the one thing I noticed in this game was that last drive there where they kind of telegraphed what they were going to do. It was like a 3rd and 7. And I remember when I saw the Raiders come out in their first round, I was like, they absolutely need to call a timeout because I don't think Cincinnati is going to be aggressive here. Because when it was a 3rd and 7, you had to throw the ball, right? But you were also, you're going to give them the 2-minute. And I think he absolutely made a clock management call there instead of like being aggressive and just trying to end the game there where he just went underneath. And I saw when the Raiders came out that first, I was like, oh, they're going to let him get the under? You know what I mean? Like untouched because that's how they're going to come out in like a really aggressive set. They called timeout. I was like, okay, that's smart because you just need to be in 2 under right now because the Bengals are not going to they're going to go underneath because let you tackle them so they can throw technically, but still, get.
The other thing that people were talking about at the stadium was when the Raiders were down by, I think, 10, and they chose to kick the field goal instead of the touchdown. A lot of people at the stadium were like, they probably should have went for that. It was like right before that drive, they took the 3 instead of taking the 7.
Yes.
And a lot of people were like, I think that was a mistake.
Yeah. And that was what it was like 4th and 1, right?
Yeah, it was 4th and 1. And then they were just like, we're just going to do a field goal.
And it was
the math in that spot was weird because you go up 10. I think it was 9 or whatever it was. Yeah, you went up 9 or 10 at that point.
Yeah, and also this is something the Ravens are really good at is like being really aware of the unit you're up against and what their numbers are in the red zone. The Raiders are historically bad defense in the red zone this year, right? Like they have ranked like the lowest in like 80 years or something like that, like terrible. Like not just bad for this year, bad historically. That's why it's surprising. And that was one of the things where I'm like, I maybe because this is year 2 of Joe Burrow, they're not like that hasn't been built up yet, but maybe in like year 5, they'll do that thing where the Ravens go, I don't think you're good at this. So I'm just going to go for it just to see what happens here. And they didn't do that as much. Right. And that's why I think could have made this not even be a thing where we're even talking about a whistle here or a whistle there. Right. I think some of those things helped the game get a little bit closer than it needed to. But also, he might have just been like, I don't think Derek Carr is going to beat me and took that gamble. If I'm Zach Taylor, I would say, I don't think you can beat Joe Burrow. That's the gamble I would take. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's the gamble that I think Cincinnati wants you to take. That's the gamble I think Joe Burrow wants you to take. We don't have to worry about who's on the other side. Just say you can't beat Joe Burrow on 3rd down or 4th down. So deal with that, right? That's what the Ravens do when Lamar's healthy. You can't stop Lamar on 3rd and 2. 4th and 2. What you gonna do? We going for it. You know what I mean? That's the aggressiveness that like I think in the playoffs, especially, maybe the Titans were all making jokes about the Titans, but like Derrick Henry could easily come. Is he playing, right?
Oh yeah, Derrick Henry's definitely got to play. There's no way they're coming out there.
Derrick Henry could easily come out here and have like one of those 230-yard games, and then this is a tight game all of a sudden, right? So if you're the Bengals, like you have to look at it. This is playoff football now. Yeah. Gotta be more comfortable being a lot more aggressive than what they showed there against the Raiders. That's the only thing. Team-wise, I feel like they got the team. I mean, like I would not be shocked, and I can't believe these words are coming out of my mouth as negative as I've been about the Bengals the first 8 weeks of the year. But I would not be shocked, quite frankly, if the Bengals found a way to get to the AFC Championship, if not to the Super Bowl this year, because the pathway is there for them. It's just a question of execution and are they going to take advantage of those spots when they're in them and understand it. Other than Patrick Mahomes, there's not a better quarterback in the AFC. Well, hold on, Josh.
No, Josh Allen.
Josh Allen is in there.
Josh Allen is very good. My bad. I forgot all about
when he's trying to throw it away. So you got to give him his props.
You have one of the 3 quarterbacks that people feel like can take you to a Super Bowl in the AFC. I think that's fair to say, right?
Yeah.
You need to start calling plays like it. That's the only thing that I want, because right now it seems like you're calling plays like, well, we don't want to put him in. It's like nah. But put Joe Burrow on that spot. He was calm all game. He came out. They didn't even know it was a playoff game. Yeah. How calm he was. I mean, that throw he made at the end zone was just emblematic of it. How did you stay that composed, being forced out by like 2 dudes like on the defensive line, throwing the ball out there like into that tight of a window, and you still make the throw there? That's just crazy.
That is the pattern of Joe Burrow. Like when he extends the play and he does those things, it's insane.
I will add this because with this I have to go. 2 things. First, thank you for the people that have been subscribing to the Patreon. We're gonna be doing a live stream tomorrow, so thank you for that. Also, I guess my disappointment is not even with Burrow or the offense; it's more with coaching, because in that 4th and 1, we're talking about their horrible on defense on the Raiders, right? On the red zone defense. But not only that, they were second worst on penalties. What are the odds that you can draw them offside?
Oh, we tried to. We did that. They tried to draw them offsides in one of those red zone things, and they didn't jump.
Yeah, I know. What I'm saying is,
they didn't even. I remember that they didn't even take it. They took it to like 10 seconds. They didn't take it to
they
like
tried
the
to
one.
get them to jump, but they didn't do it. They just
and then Joe just it might have been Derek Carr too, but if Derek Carr took it to 10 seconds, I understand, because they knocked themselves on false starts all the time.
Oh my God,
with the Raiders. So that's not a game that the Raiders should play, to be honest. They do that all the time to themselves at home. They have like the most false starts at home.
I mean, they were the second most penalized team in the whole NFL. Dallas was number 1. So anyway, Bengals, great game overall. But again, my only criticism here is more when you go to red zone, not against probably not against the Titans, but when you go to against a high.
The Titans are pretty good in red zone defense. They're like
yeah. Again, it's more. But
they're not.
I agree. They're not real.
Yeah. I can't wait.
Name me
for
3
Jack
players
Rabbit
on the
versus
Titans
Jamar
defense.
Chase. That is going to be funny to watch.
All right, Sonny. Talk to you later.
Name me 3 dudes on the Titans defense right now.
Christian Fulton, Kevin Byard, obviously the safety, he's good. Jeffrey Simmons,
is he on
there? It
is.
They
got Jeffrey Simmons.
I know all of them because I've had to look them up, so I didn't want to.
You had to look them up.
That was tougher than it needed.
You had to look them up. You didn't get matched up with the Titans. Were like, oh man, Myles Garrett. Like, you know what I mean? That wasn't.
No,
that wasn't. There was
bro.
Nobody
That's what I want to say too, because one of the things was they were like, yeah, Bengals never seen a defensive front like the Titans. I'm like, we literally play in a division with T.J. Watt and Myles Garrett. You guys don't have either one of those.
They played 4 games against better defensive fronts.
And this was literally the season where we played literally every single edge rusher. Nick Bosa, there isn't a defensive front that we haven't seen. Chris Jones, there's like everybody that's probably, and when you go to Madden and you look at edge rusher and defensive tackle at the top, we pretty much played all of them.
And the Titans have a good interior, but they don't have a good. I mean, who's their great edge rusher? Harold Landry.
They're saying Harold Landry. I
mean, Harold Landry, I liked a lot coming out.
He does have 14 sacks.
He does? Oh, good for him. I really liked him a lot coming out. And
14, that's cute. That's what you wanted to say. 14, that's cute compared to Myles Garrett and T.J. Watt.
I mean,
that's a good little amount. That'd still be 3rd in the division.
I mean, it's pretty good. 14 is not bad. We do have to get some super chats here. But I did want to say real quick, going back to this red zone thing, I do think everyone's making a mountain out of a molehill here with this, with like the red zone efficiency. This is not, look, I agree that the Bengals should have been better in the red zone in this football game, but this was as close to a booty beatdown as you will get without it actually being a booty beatdown because of that. And I don't think it's something where I didn't look at this game coming out of it and I'm like, ooh, that's really worrying for the Bengals. I would have been more worried if the Bengals went back to being a really slow starter in this game offensively, or if they had shown some of the signs like their inability to create big plays. I think if they had shown some of that, some of the weaknesses that we saw in the regular season, if that had come to play in the postseason, especially in a game like this against an opponent that they were favored against, that's where I would have been more worried. The fact that they struggled a little bit in the red zone in this game didn't worry me because they kept moving the ball. I mean, it wasn't like they weren't consistently down there in the red zone every time. Yes, they need to be better going forward. But I think, when you look at how confident Joe Burrow is playing right now and how well Jamar Chase, I mean, my goodness, Jamar Chase right now, unguardable.
He might be good at football, man.
Yeah. He's
the man might have a future at wide receiver.
Yeah. I mean, I'm telling you, we're never gonna. I mean, we're just the whole Panay versus Chase thing is just. I mean, that is just gone. So
by the way, Ace, what team was you on?
I was on the Panay train, but as soon as. For me, it's like whenever your team just drafts somebody, you have to be on.
You just got to get on board, baby. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The Browns would have drafted Gregory Rousseau. I'd have been happy to be out there like, look, man.
I never was about that. I didn't believe that Chase was an amazing player or anything.
This is about need.
It was just
it's
about
more
protecting
about
Joe. But clearly, the best way to protect Joe is to give him chase.
Yeah.
It's pretty hard. It's pretty hard to rush Joe when Jamar Chase is wide open.
Yeah. Indeed. All right, let's get to these super chats here. Josh with a $5 super chat says, shout out to Q for his Baker discussion video. Kid ain't a scrub, but I don't think he's worth a big extension. Yep. Of course, if you haven't seen it, Q released a long form video on his channel all about Baker Mayfield and whether or not who he is right now in his career.
Don't let
so make
Baker's
sure you
wife
check
see
that out.
She's gonna be in your inbox.
Yeah,
I'll be like, baby, there's 15 advanced metrics in that video. Okay, you know what I mean? Bring me your advanced metrics. I'm pretty sure that most of them are saying what I'm saying in that one. But,
by the way, one of the best tweets I saw this weekend was somebody who said OBJ's dad is Film Grinder of the Year. He wins the All 22 award for Film Grinder of the Year.
OBJ dad might get Executive of the Year.
Yeah, exactly. Get him in a scouting department somewhere. All right. I don't have the rest of these to put up here because we had to switch with Sonny leaving, but I'm going to read these here. I'll read them out. Second Royalty gave us a $5 super chat. Said, I'm with Q as a Browns and Baker fan. Nobody posts or talks about Baker, not even the official Cleveland Post. I'd feel abandoned if I were Baker.
I mean, it's almost like he didn't play the last game of the season voluntarily.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, come on, man. He had to talk to his agent.
He had to talk to his wife and his agent about it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Come on, man. Dave here, $5 super chat says, Ace, we have to use Evans more next week. It seems he always make a play when his number is called.
Yeah, I think this is the game that you do that with the Titans being really good against the run. I think that this is where you kind of use Joe Mixon and Chris Evans in the passing game. And I think Tony was a big Chris Evans guy as well. And he's extremely talented. He just has the misfortune of being in the same backfield with Joe Mixon.
Yeah, but he is the perfect complement type player.
He's honestly, the perfect complement for our offense, honestly.
If you look at, watching, because obviously Najee was clearly limited against the Chiefs, and so they were playing a lot of Kalen Ballage and Benny Snell. Boy, how much I would love to see Chris Evans back there, but not quite. All right, Misfit Code TV, $5 super chat said, I'm waiting for the playoff Migos sweatshirt to come in, but what curse? The Bengals break that 31-year playoff drought. Could they go all the way?
I think they can go all the way. And the crazy thing is about that story is the curse of Bo Jackson. They break that curse against the Raiders 31 years later. Because if you're not familiar with it, it's that the Bengals have not had a playoff win since they ended Bo Jackson's career. So that was kind of crazy that they did that. But yeah, I do think because
Raiders connection there, right?
Yep, Raiders connection. So yeah, if they can get past Tennessee, and then somehow, if depending on what happens with Buffalo and KC, see that's what makes it even more of a possibility because those two teams are playing each other. You don't have to go through both of those, but they got to do it. But I think that they definitely have a shot to make it to the Super Bowl for sure.
Yeah. By the way, I love how Izzy's like, yeah, man, 31 years. It's been hard. You just switched to the Bengals 6 weeks ago.
He just switched. He went all the way in.
You just switched.
He went all the way in.
Talking about some 31-year drought, sir. You've been on that team for 31 days.
Although here's the thing, though. Hold on. When he switches, that team wins. They win a playoff. They win a playoff game, right? He was a Browns fan last year.
A good luck charm.
Exactly. So
he was a Browns fan for both next year. What luck did that give me?
Come on in. Hey, water's fine over here in Pittsburgh if you want to help us out.
Y'all got that drought.
5 long years.
Y'all got that half-decade drought.
5 long years. I loved all the
people. Could you imagine that drought gets to like 10 years for Pittsburgh?
No one sent a text to no one sent a TikTok.
No one sent a TikTok. Yeah. I kept seeing that. No one sent a TikTok.
Yeah, back when the Steelers was winning playoff games, motherfuckers was using Vine.
No one sent a TikTok because we're not 12. Okay, so
well, Tony.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Half the team use TikTok.
Listen. Kids these days.
You got some of the biggest TikTok stars on the platform. All your roster.
I don't have to endorse it. Listen, I like his play on the field. Professor Chaos here, $5 super chat said, Q, what are your thoughts hearing what Ace said about his team? Do you think it's a similar feeling you had last year?
I wasn't as confident in the quarterback as like Bengal fans were. I was confident in Baker. I thought he was playing I was always like, hey, he's playing top 10-ish, like 10 to 12 level. Yeah. They're clearly past that in Cincinnati. They clearly think he's playing at a higher level than 10-ish. Yeah. But yeah, I thought the Browns could have done a lot. I thought there was a limit to what the Browns could do. I thought like the AFC Championship game, getting to that, maybe winning it was probably the limit for them just because they had so many injuries at the end of that year. Remember, Jedrick Wills had went out. I think Jack Conklin also went out. We were down tackles. You know what I mean? So that was an issue there. I think Miles was still like coming back off COVID. He wasn't the same at that point of the year too. So there was a lot of things I was like, second round, if we can get past Kansas City, cool. You know what I mean? But I wasn't super confident that we were going to beat the Bills or anything if we got to the AFC Championship game.
And the Browns were going to have a really tough schedule going through too, right? Because they had the Chiefs going to the divisional round, and then they would have had to play the Bills. I guess it could have been the Ravens too. At that point, you couldn't have known.
Yeah, it could have been a rematch.
We could.
That's what I wanted, right? That's what I wanted was a rematch at M&T Bank Stadium because the Ravens had beat us 2 times. It's like no way they beat us 3 times, right? But that would have been their path to get in. But it still wasn't. I was excited about the team, but I thought this year they would take the step. Like everybody forgets this with Baker Mayfield or with this Browns team is that what they did at 2020 was not supposed to be the finished product. They were supposed to take a step in the second year with Kevin Stefanski.
Yeah.
And that didn't happen. Instead, Baker took like 3 steps backwards, back to pre-2019 Baker.
Yeah. And I think it goes back to, the fact that we're at this point with Burrow and this team already, right? I mean, we are, he hadn't played a full season, Joe Burrow, before this year. So the fact that we are now talking about them legitimately as a contender in the AFC is just, it is remarkable.
Jamar Chase going to be on that rookie deal for like 4 more years.
Yeah.
It's not
good. Yeah.
Well,
in the 5th-year option. He's gonna make an all-pro, so that'll kick it up.
I was like, Tony, I know you didn't ask if he's gonna get his 5th-year option.
No. I meant the 5th-year option is gonna be with the all-pro 5th year, so it'll, it'll
go up. You know what I mean?
We take all the wins we can get on that one.
But I'm pretty sure they're gonna be exercising a lot of 5th-year options there in Cincinnati.
Yeah, won't be an issue. All right,
they don't have to worry.
Raven Smith here, $7 Canadian super chat says that Tyler Boyd touchdown was on my parlay. It helped me win $1,300. Thank you, JB, Tyler Boyd, and the refs.
Flexing on me like that. By the way, almost took the prop bet on the Steelers scoring their first on the Steelers Chiefs game, the first touchdown being scored, being defensive. But nah, my inner Bengal hater came out and was like, Joe Burrow gonna throw a pick 6 to start this game. Like, and then he's gonna overcome it. That's what I thought was gonna happen.
You got it. Listen, like I said.
Yeah. Put my $15 in the wrong
cheer with
spot.
your heart. Bet with your head, cheer with your heart. Okay, you got to remember. Yeah,
I was like, what makes more sense? Pittsburgh scored a defensive touchdown first. Nah, Pat Mahomes ain't gonna give you one. But
did you hear about the guy? Did you hear about the guy who thought he bet T.J. Watt first time or any first score by T.J. Watt is what he thought he bet. Okay, and he thought he won, and he actually bet Derek Watt for the first touchdown.
That's what you get. So they going nuts like that too, because like you gotta look.
Yeah.
Highlight the thing and get the.
I think the one that I missed out on was like I think it was Raheem Mostert for a touchdown against the Chiefs. I think that was when the Chiefs and the 49ers played.
Okay.
And it was just that he would just get one, not the first
anytime
one.
Touchdown.
But the odds were amazing. And I almost did it, and then we decided not to. And it's like Raheem Mostert touchdown.
And sometimes you see him. It was like with Derek Carr. The odds for Derek Carr to get 3 touchdowns in that game, you couldn't pass it up, right? Like it was like the money line was crazy. I was like, Derek Carr could throw 3 touchdowns, right?
Yeah,
no, he cannot.
No,
he got 3
field goals though. He threw 2, right? 2, and then he could have the one at the end. By the way, that ending sequence. Can we talk about that ending sequence again? Because all right, let's just do a little. Look, all of us here play Madden, right? Everyone in chat plays Madden. There were 30 seconds on the clock when the Raiders get the ball at the 10-yard line or whatever, right? And they immediately go down and they spike the football. Now they're only going to they're at the goal. It's goal to go now. So you have a maximum of 4 plays. You can't get more plays than 4 because it's 4th and goal. Okay. How many seconds do you need on the clock to run 4 passing plays? Because they
like
spike
25 seconds.
You need about 20, 25 seconds
per play.
So so you really, So these morons, okay, with 30 seconds to go, instead of running a play, they decide we're going to spike it and waste it down. Why? There were 7 when they get done. Okay, they then went incomplete, interception. right? Which, I mean, the interception, by the way, not even thrown at the end zone. I mean, first of all, that's identity. You have to get, that's Ben Roethlisberger's thing. But
they didn't target a tight end once.
No, they didn't target Waller. But I'm assuming Waller was.
They had Waller
play.
No, they ran Waller underneath a couple of times. He wasn't even in the end zone.
Decoy. This moron, Biscotti.
Dumb. I hate. By the way, term of the year I'm hating on all year, all summer. Decoy. I'm tired of it. Stop using your best player as a decoy. It's very stupid. Use your best player as your best player. Browns that have Jamar Chase on the roster be like, yeah, he's gonna be a decoy so we can get Anthony Schwartz open. Tired of decoy. Why was your tight end a decoy? Your best player, the biggest dude, the most reliable target, decoy? Throw that thing up to him in double coverage and pray he catch it. Yeah.
Oh, and you know what you don't do? You know what you especially don't do on the goal line when you only have 4 chances? Waste first down on a spike. I mean, this is what I don't understand about the modern NFL head coaches. The fact that they don't just have like a 12-year-old on the sideline who's like, hey, you're in charge of my clock management over here because you play Madden all the time.
Triangle. No. Select a play. We're gonna run this thing. We're gonna run bench. We're just gonna run bench. Triangle. Come on. Let's get.
I mean, it'd be better. A lot of teams would be better off. They just had, some 12-year-old named Trevor over there who's like, hey, coach, here, you need to call timeout. Like, you need to call timeout right now. Or, no, don't call timeout. Yeah, call timeout here. Because, again, it frustrates me to no end that just playing Madden, it, qualifies you to be better at clock management than half the coaches in the National Football League. But Scotty, whatever his name is, absolute moron.
Tony, if you pulling your hair out over that, man, imagine. I'm glad you didn't have to sit through a whole season of Hugh Jackson because Hugh Jackson, all-time worst clock man. He was called a spike just so he could do a QB sneak for the 5, dog.
All right, Misfit Culture TV, another $5 super chat says that second half play calling reminded me of Stefanski with a lead. A lot of ball control and clock management. Can't have that against the Titans this week.
Well, we had
that's how the Titans play, though. That's what they do. A lot of clock management and all of that. They can't have that against us.
Yeah. Joe here at $5 super chat says Bengals offensive game plan changes a lot, as does the defense. They played the Raiders conservatively the first time too. They'll throw against the Titans.
Yeah, I think you have to. I think it's gonna really, especially with how good that Titans run defense is. I think that's going to force us to go with. I think it's going to be a Migos game for sure. Yeah, because of that.
You play a run first team. Get up early, and you get them right out of that.
One thing I'll say though, getting a big lead on Ryan Tannehill unlocks the best version of Ryan Tannehill. You ever see his down 20 numbers? He starts cooking. When he's down. But the comeback Ryan Tannehill is a real thing. That is actually a real thing. But other than that, he's Ryan Tannehill.
All right. We got another one here. Ray Rags, $2 super chat says Raiders red zone D gave up touchdowns on 77% of the time. So yeah, they were definitely the worst in the league. But again, I looked up the Bengals and their red zone conversion rate. They were about average this year. I mean, they weren't.
And if I'm not mistaken, there's some kind of stat where the Raiders have this amazing record in close games, right? Right before the playoffs started, they were the kings of tight games of coming out on top or whatever.
Yeah.
Famously beat a Nick Mullins led Browns team by 3.
Professor Chaos.
They did count that in there.
Professor Chaos here, $5 super chat says, yeah, Ace, you're right. The Bengals have gone against PFF's number 1 and number 2 all-pro defensive ends.
Who's the first team all-pro? PFF.
Ray Rags here, $5 super chat says.
Wait, Tony.
Yeah, go ahead.
Who's first team all-pro?
Yeah, no. Clearly, TJ Watt not very good. He didn't have any impact.
Ain't nothing wrong with being 2. Ain't nothing wrong with being the silver. I just wonder who got the gold.
He wasn't silver. He's
second team all-pro.
No, PFF. I don't believe he was. On PFF, was he second team?
He wasn't even second. Wait.
I believe
that's cap. He had to be second team.
I'm not looking it up because I'm not going to their website, but someone else can look it up for me. I don't believe he was. I think they put Max Crosby there, but whatever.
Okay, yeah, these are invalid. I'm sorry.
What?
They really put Max Crosby there?
I think the 2 edge rushers that they put were Myles Garrett and Max Crosby. Yes.
What? NFL edge, right? They go by edge.
No.
PFF. Yeah, PFF's all-pro first team or whatever. Their all-pro list or whatever was Max Crosby and Myles Garrett.
There's no way. There's no way they actually did that. Bro. Okay, wait. I'm looking at the list right now. Mm-hmm. Offense. Okay, Tom Brady. This, that, and third. Okay, let's get to the defense. All right. Okay, they got Cam Hayward, first team. Okay,
yeah, great. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Chris Jones, second team.
Wow.
All right. Edge rush. Oh, Tony, you got mad for no reason. It's Myles Garrett on the first edge.
He's on there.
Yeah, he's on the second team, but Max Crosby is the second edge, though. On the
yeah. So right.
They didn't even give
that is kind of wild.
You got to remember, there are two edge spots. I forgot about this.
Yeah, there are two edge spots. I'm saying, like, it was Myles Garrett and Max Crosby. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Nah, I mean, listen, it's fine.
Wow, that's I don't know how that happened. Maybe that's a typo, man. That has to be a typo.
Nope. Nah. That's PFF for you. All right. Ray Rags here with a $5 super chat said, thanks for letting me have some fun while I'm quarantined for the week with COVID. As much as I hate the other teams in the North, I love AFC North talk. Ray Rags, really appreciate that.
Get well soon, man.
Yeah, man. Get well. Let's see what else we got. Oh, we got another one. We got another one here from Misfit Culture. $5 super chat says, hey, Q, it's all love this side. I do my research.
Yeah. It wasn't hard to find out that the Bengals had a 31-year drought. I'm just saying there right there. It was all over the television screen on Saturday.
He's doing a lot of research on his new favorite team. I mean, of course, he's got to learn.
Talking about like, oh, man, for 31 years, generations of Bengal fans. Dog, you've been with the team 31 days, man. They picked you up off waivers. They picked you up off waivers because somebody got injured, man. Come on.
Ray Rags here, another $5 super chat says Bo's injury was so insane. He was so strong he dislocated his own hip while getting tackled. Ugh.
Can we talk about Josh Allen real quick, man?
Sure, go for it.
Okay, did you see that game on Sunday?
Well, I was I mean, I saw the majority of it, but
okay, I'm never saying anything negative about that man. Is exactly who Bills fans say he is. That was incredible. He was getting tackled at certain points, had like 3 dudes on him. He threw strikes like 60 yards down the field on the opposite hash, man. That was some of the most impressive quarterback play I have seen in quite a while. I have been a Josh Allen denier. I am no longer denying it. After that game, no, let me shut up. Josh Allen's really good.
Especially for him to do it to Belichick, like division rival Belichick.
He does it to him all the time. The Bills are the new Tom.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that was nasty.
He's going to be around for a while. You know what else Josh Allen does that Baker Mayfield don't do? Work on his footwork in the offseason. You know what I mean? Josh Allen did that. Look at what happened for him. Baker Mayfield says he has nothing to fix, though. Great leader, that guy.
Terrell Williams here, $10 super chat says, imagine if the refs would have taken Tyler Boyd's touchdown away. How do you think fans would have felt after seeing Burrow never stepped out? The refs would be under way more fire than they are now. And I agree. In fact, I'll go this far.
Yeah.
Look, I know it's not going to be popular with Bengals fans, but that touchdown should have been taken away. I mean, by the letter of the law, that touchdown should have been taken away. And the NFL deserves. Look, the NFL is doing this thing where they're doing the whole 2 wrongs make a right. They got it so wrong that they got it right because they try to do this. They're going to gaslight us all now. I don't know if you guys have seen what the statement the NFL put out, where they say we determined that the whistle was after the play was over. No, it wasn't. We can all go watch the replay. No, it absolutely wasn't. And this is my problem is I understand for Bengals fans, hey, all's well that ends well, right? Tyler Boyd's touchdown was a touchdown. But the fact that we put up with officiating that is this bad, that is possibly changing the outcome of football games. And it is like this, not just unique to this one football game or this one crew. This is around the league every week. We watch games where you look at it and you're like, oh, good, we got one of these cool ref games. We're just going to have the refs decide it for us. Like this, the NFL deserved the egg on its face for this because this has been a problem. Officiating in the National Football League has been a problem for years. And this would have been a massive, massive story because this was a horrendous call that they blew the whistle here and that they would have taken away a touchdown and potentially even changed the outcome of a playoff game and kept the Bengals, streak alive. I mean, the Bengals who were so close to having that playoff win, have it taken away in that way. No, the NFL deserved that because they have allowed this. I mean, they have officials out there who are just plain incompetent and they do nothing about it. And then they do the thing where they release a statement to us and they say, oh, well, we're not going to let Jerome Boger's crew do another game. You already knew that going in. I'm sorry, NFL. I don't buy that. I don't buy that at all. You knew that going in. He wasn't doing another game. Okay, you need to make meaningful change to officiating in the National Football League because it is at an all-time low and it's getting worse every year. I mean, it is making the sport less and less fun to watch. Let's move on here. Let's get some more.
Bring in the robots.
Bring in something. Bring in something other than these refs. Misfit Culture TV.
By the way, the real question: why are all these refs like 40? Like, why don't we got like 28-year-old refs? You know what I mean? Like, why do they? It's always.
Well, we don't have the vets anymore. I mean, all the good vets, all the good refs that you knew, they all go into broadcasting now. And I think that's not I think there's
because they don't pay nothing. They don't pay.
They don't pay exactly. You can go into broadcasting, you get paid way more money.
Like, honestly, there's a way to fix this problem, right? Like, you can fix this problem by making a concerted effort to make being a sports referee, a football referee, an actual career, right? That people can go for, and in that way, you will get better quality. Because right now, all you're getting is like retired lawyers, like legitimately, like retired lawyers, some old football players, guys in the club. Those are usually who your referees end up. Like, either you're the son of a referee or you're a lawyer that knows Roger Goodell and like, hey, man, I would love to referee some games. Like, this is legit the pool of people that they pull for referee. These are not like people you want refereeing games. Right. It's like, if you really want to fix this, make it a career path for somebody. Like, make it an actual legitimate career. Have a developmental program. Loan out these referees to like college or whatever you want to do to make sure you can get enough people in there to make this an actual field to work in. But like, widen the talent pool. Like, I honestly think there should be younger referees out there with like sprier legs and able to move around. You know what I mean? There should be no 75-year-old referee calling games.
Well, it should be full-time. I mean, there should be full-time refs. I mean, again, like you said, this should be a real career path that you can make legitimate money doing, right? So you should incentivize people to want to, and then there should be incentivized to want to be good.
Bro, I want to see the next generation of referees have put on referee drills on their Instagram during the offseason. You know what I mean? I want them to be just watching stuff, doing a little hand-eye react drill like the wide receivers do. I need to see referees do that too. I need to see them leveling up. That's what I need. Make this an actual career path. Pay them more. I know that's always like, it's always like a counterintuitive sounding solution when we're talking about, I hate these referees. Well, pay them more so they can do more for their craft and make this an actual career field. Because right now you're just getting cast-offs and leftovers. And this is why you have this problem, because you don't have like the most talented people who could referee games out here. Referee, you would rather umpire baseball if you got the skills to do it, because those guys get more rub than football referees. Same thing with basketball, right? Like, it's the weakest league to referee in, and it's why you get the weakest refs. It's more profitable to talk about how bad the refereeing is, or more profitable to referee in the SEC sometimes than it is to be the referee in the NFL. That's the problem. And that's how you solve it.
I get the whole refs thing. The thing that I hate is how people are like, oh, that could have decided the game, but it was a play in the second quarter, and people put more onus on that than Derek Carr throwing an interception. Yeah. Maybe Derek Carr shouldn't have thrown an interception at the end of the game. And so I get it, but then when it's like we have these plays happening like the first quarter of the game, and they're like, oh, that just changed the entire game. You don't know that.
Well, it was a huge play. I mean, this was an off balance throw from. I mean, it's just a throw Burrow should never make and should never complete. Right. And the fact that play would get taken away by the officials and the momentum of that, you just don't know. I mean, I get that because it's in the second quarter, anything can happen from that point. But
right. And that's my only thing is there were other mistakes that maybe their own player, because when you have a close game, right, everybody always blames the refs' missed calls after the game. Yeah. No one ever blames whatever mistakes that the actual team actually made.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's what I mean, that is fandom, right? It's like you take the one bad call and you're like, that changed it. That was the whole game.
If Derek Carr throws a touchdown and they go for 2 and they win, does anybody even talk about that play? No one's talking about that play whatsoever.
Now, I will say that the refs did single-handedly change the outcome of the Steelers game when they called Joe Hayden offsides on the block field goal, but that's neither here nor there.
That was a 20-point swing.
It was at least a 10-point swing, but Misfit Culture TV $2 super chat said, I got picked up off waivers. Touche, Q.
Definitely did get picked off waiver. That's like when who was it? It was like Draymond Jones or somebody on the Cavs got picked up in 2016 when they came back from 3-1, and LeBron during the parade was like, "You the luckiest damn man in the world. You got picked off. You got picked up right before we made the run. You wasn't even on the team for real."
It's like Le'Veon Bell's path this year. He's going to end up winning a Super Bowl.
What team is he on?
He's on Tampa.
For real?
He didn't play.
He'll get two like this? No, Antonio Brown got the one last. They just love giving old Steelers rings over there. Huh?
Yeah, listen, the Killer Bees are finally going to get it. Maybe.
Tom Brady's like, I've dominated you enough. Let me give you your ring. You know what I mean?
Is he still out there? I wonder if he's still with the Bucs. I think he still is, though.
Way.
Yeah, he is. He's still with the Bucs. He just doesn't play at all. All right, Father Dismas, $5 super chat says, can we at least thank Dallas fans for giving us enough salt for all our roads this winter? Now, I was obviously we were entering the stadium at the end of that Cowboys game, so I missed all the shots of all the crying Cowboys fans. That was something. Those fans were very upset at the end of that football game.
You know what's funny? Like, they get that upset. They do this every time they make the playoffs.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, how do you get caught off guard this much? You know what I mean? Like, when was the last time this hasn't happened to the Cowboys? Like the 80s or the 90s? They had Troy Aikman on the team.
Yeah, the last time they had a win was Troy Aikman, right?
It had to be like late 90s, right?
No, wait, did Bledsoe win a playoff game there?
It wasn't Tony Romo.
No, it wasn't Romo. No, I know that. Was it Bledsoe and Parcells? Did they win one? Maybe not. Maybe it was Aikman. It might have been Aikman.
It had to be Aikman. That's the last time they've been actually good. They've been good since I was born.
Yeah. Well, they're always hovering, but they're never actually good.
Yeah. Well, they're always frauds. Like it's hilarious how like they're always frauds throughout like three different like versions of teams. And that's just shocking to me. How did they get beat by Jimmy Garoppolo of all people?
Well,
that just tells me you have terrible luck. You know what I mean? You got Jimmy G'd in the playoffs.
That Niners team is good. I mean, that Niners team is like sneaky good. They're sneaky good.
They're pretty good, but damn, man. I thought the Cowboys had like 3 defensive player of the year candidates.
Yeah. Well, and then they have that receiver.
They got Jimmy G'd
with Dak. Yeah. They're just going to be the problem with them is like they're going to be paying that Zeke contract forever, and he is just not the same Zeke at all.
Oh man.
Yeah. Jay with a $5 super chat says NFL didn't say the whistle came after the catch. The NFL said the refs determined the whistle came after the catch, and that ruling is not reviewable. Well, whatever. Again, whatever it is, horrific. Take one here.
We shouldn't have blew the whistle in the first place.
Yeah. Can we just get competent officials that don't make the most egregious calls? I mean, again, there's no reason for that guy to blow the whistle when he did.
What if it came out that he burped, and that's why he was like, "Oh my God, he threw that."
$2 super chat here says, "Hey Tony, Kenny Pickett as a Steeler opinion." I wouldn't hate it. I've started to do some work on the quarterback class this year. I know the Steelers likely aren't going to take a quarterback, but I figure I might as well do my due diligence early before we start to kind of narrow the field on who the Steelers are going to take. I don't hate Kenny Pickett. I think the problem I have with Kenny Pickett is he, as old as he is, he's 23 going on 24 now, and he's played as much football as he has. Is he sort of near his peak? Are you okay? Would you be okay? Let's say I said that Kenny Pickett's his ceiling is like Kirk Cousins. Are you okay drafting a Kirk Cousins in the first round? If you are, then I think Kenny Pickett makes some sense. If you're not, right, if you want someone better, if you want a franchise guy, a Joe Burrow type, you're probably going to wait till 2023. All right, here, another super chat here. David with $5 said, "Why did they blow the whistle in the first place? They review every touchdown to make sure they actually got in."
This is like a reoccurring thing with referees. Like they blow the whistle for no, because I remember there was a game versus the Steelers where like Lamar fumbled trying to dive into the end zone, and then the Browns could have picked it up and returned it for a touchdown. They blew the whistle on that for no reason. It's like, why blow the whistle when the play is already going, right? Like sometimes they do it with an encroachment where they're not supposed to blow the whistle, but sometimes they do blow the whistle and you don't get the free play. They need to just tell people not to blow the damn whistle.
They blew the whistle because they thought Joe Burrow stepped out. I mean, that the ref probably thought Joe Burrow stepped out before he threw it. He did not.
Determine that on film.
Right.
See if it actually matters. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because what's the worst that can happen? He steps out, he threw it out of bounds, and then it's just a loss of down anyways. Like, lay out the option before blowing. Give yourself the option by not blowing the whistle is all I'm saying. When in doubt, don't blow it.
Terrell here, $5 super chat says, "The whistle isn't the reason they lost. The car fumble, the car interception, the guy who fielded the ball on the 2-yard line is the reason." And look, I'm certainly not making the thing here that like the whistle cost anything. What I'm saying is that whistle should have. I mean, look, the whistle by rule should have cost the Bengals that touchdown. Maybe they go on and score a touchdown again, but the fact that we have the state of NFL officiating right now is the fact that they got it wrong on the field. They blew the whistle when they should not have. And then they got it even more wrong by not saying, hey, we blew an inadvertent whistle. This is like the compounding issues here, which at the end gets it right. They get it right. But again, the process by which we got there, which was the officials getting it wrong and then getting another thing wrong to eventually get it right, is the problem, because we are now saying, well, the officials were so bad that they were actually good, and so we're all okay with it. Poor officiating is a plague around the league. And so that is my argument here, and that is what what the NFL needs to fix.
Y'all gonna make Tony get the manager.
Exactly.
I need to speak to the manager of the referees.
Well, he got fired. Thank goodness. Al Riveron gone.
Oh, that's Al Riveron. That's
gone.
Doesn't Pat McAfee hate him? Like, excessively hate Al Riveron.
Mm-hmm. He sucks. He sucks at his job. Kill the Great $5 super chat says NFL fans are worried about who benefited from what call, but ignore the fact the NFL refs have gotten worse. Reform the referees. I agree, 100%.
You know what's crazy? This isn't like in real life where, like, if you want reform, it has to go through like an actual political system. They could just do this.
Yeah,
like the NFL could just do this.
And this is another rant I have, which is back in, I don't know if you guys, of course you guys remember the Jesse Cauditt play, right? The play where they ruled that Jesse James, the ball was moving or whatever. He didn't complete the process of the catch going to the ground. Complete BS. And so everyone, I mean, this is 10 years after the Calvin Johnson play, right? Where the Calvin Johnson was absolutely robbed of a game-winning touchdown at the end of that game. So now we're 10 years later. The Jesse James play happens in the biggest game of the year. The Steelers Patriots playing for the 1 seed. Okay, so the NFL, like, egg on its face, really can't have that happen again. So in the Super Bowl, I don't know if you guys remember this, in the Super Bowl, the Eagles, I believe it was Zach Ertz, caught a touchdown over the middle of the field. Very similar play, kind of reaches over, ball hits the ground, comes out, and they're like, wait, no, it wasn't that play. It was the other. Maybe it was Miles Sanders. No, not Miles. It wasn't Miles Sanders. The other kid, the kid from Wisconsin. But the Eagles running back. Anyway, Al Riveron, it goes to replay. It's very similar. The ball's kind of moving as he goes to the ground, hits the ground, and they're like, it shouldn't be a catch. But Al Riveron said in that moment that when he reviewed the play, because remember, this is back when the NFL, was doing all challenges, which I guess they still do today. He said, well, we knew the rule was going to change, so we just changed the rule in that moment. We just decided, like, we weren't going to rule it that way because we knew that the NFL wanted to change it in the offseason. So they just changed the rule book whenever they want. He just said,
so when the NFL comes at you, it's a process. That's bullshit. They can literally change this overnight. They can do all the processes that they have in there are purely just for show. Right. If they wanted to pay the referees more, they could do it. If they
just like they do in wrestling, just get Roger Goodell with a headset in the back, and he can just kind of tell everyone what's going on. And it's okay, you come out here.
Man back there.
Yeah.
That was a penalty. God damn it.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Ray Rax
whistle blew. And then Derek Carr runs out with the championship. He stole it. Oh, the fans are. That'd have been great. That would have been
fantastic. Ray Rags here, $5 super chat says they showed a Cowboys fan crying in the third quarter. They were still in the game with over 20 minutes of game time left. Why are you crying? They need some help,
bro. Because they knew what was up. They knew what was up. This is like their 10th time doing this.
That's what I don't understand. It's like was this that big an upset? Was Niners over Cowboys really that big an upset?
Cowboy fans were something else this year, dog. I don't know if you have not. Cowboy fans have been talking this stuff since fall. Like, you think I've been like high on the Browns? No, man. I remember I was talking to a Cowboy fan, and he told me during the draft, he was like, look, if the Browns play the Cowboys, I don't care what happened last year, we smoking y'all boys by 45. Y'all ain't got nothing. We got Dak. We got this, that. No, they have been on the juice, dog, the whole year. I told you about the stream you should check out. I'll tell Ace once we get on about the stream that y'all should check out. But if you need to know why this felt like that, I'm going to tell y'all to go watch that stream. And I'm sorry, you guys watching aren't going to be able to enjoy this because I don't want to put this stuff out there like that publicly. But you'll understand. Yeah, this is why they're heartbroken. They were really bought into this year. They thought this was it.
They thought this was the year. Not quite. Diddy with a $2 super chat says, ref had too short playing on his Bluetooth.
Blow the whistle.
DSGB with a $5 super chat. Actually, he sent another one in with his actual super chat. Appreciate this, DSGB. $5 super chat says, AQ Malik McDowell got arrested on assault charges on a police officer.
Again, I don't think it was a police officer. I think it was a security guard, but still, it's not good.
Yeah. 6 of one, half dozen the other. Yeah, it's not good. Not good. All right. That'll do it for us today. Thank you all for watching. We'll be back later this week to preview the only game left in the AFC North, the Bengals. The only team left here.
Bengals stream.
That's right. We're gonna do it. It's right. It's a special episode of New Stripe City right here. We are going to be previewing that game. Bengals at Titans. That game is Saturday at 4:30. If you want to make sure you get notified when that video goes live, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell. You'll be notified when we go live. Until then, see you later.